I got my new thing imported. I got the Christian Dior. They wanna look at the foreign. They couldn't even afford it. Look what I did with the bag. Look what I did with the bag. I got the thing in the back, and I ain't taking no chat. I got my new thing imported. I got the Christian Dior. They wanna look at the foreign. They couldn't even afford it.
Show, man, making Thursdays great again. Now, today is a big show, man. It's a big show, a big topic. We're going to get into it, man. It's a calling. Off the back of the last podcast, yeah, you know, a lot of people didn't really like, you know, how we were breaking it down. They didn't really like our opinions on all that kind of stuff. So we're going to get into it, man. We're going to get into it, people. We are going to get into it today. So, well, we got a couple people in here, all right? We see that the people are ready for this one. People, hit the like button, man. Hit the like button, man, because no one ain't giving it to you like this, man. No one ain't giving it to you like this, raw and uncut. So people, please, man, it won't cost you a thing. Hit the like button and help us get into the algorithm, man. We're warming up the place today. For all of these guys who was in the comments and who have DM'd us and who, you know, who feel a way about the topic, call the phone number, man, because we're going to get into it. Stephen, what is going on, man?
Yo, you're talking about warm. Sweat me, I'm sweating on my lad. How I go on? Make it Mondays great again, fam. I had to run back, you know. Obviously, gyms reopen today. People, them, go get your sweat on. Health is wealth, all them thing there. What day is it today? Thursday, Monday, Tuesday?
It's Monday today.
It's because we're coming on. I'm never thinking it's Thursday. Make it Mondays great again, man. What you saying, man? Kick it up like a game of FIFA, though, fam.
Most definitely, people, hit the like button, man. We need a couple more likes in here. It's all about the people tonight, man. See what I mean? It's a call-in show. Don't be shy. Call in, have your say, get your voice heard, man. If you disagree, you disagree. If you don't, you know what I mean? Whatever you want to do, just call in, man. We're here and we want to discuss it. So, as you see from the title of the show, for the hardcore Express Truth crew, yeah, you know what the last podcast episode was about. So I'm gonna give you a little we'll just get back in it to refresh your memories before we open the phone lines and that. So, the race report came out, and a lot of people didn't read it. A lot of people did read it. But for those who did read it, you know that a part of the report focused on what we can actually do to bet. Oh, someone's on. Yo, I wish we could see who was disliking. How you disliked it and the show ain't even started. Come on, man. So, like I said.
So bad mind is real, yeah?
Yeah, man. The race report came out, and you know they were saying how our as in boys from the Caribbean that are living in the UK are at the bottom of the pile in the education system. See what I mean? Like, and they put that down to fatherless homes. So we spoke about it on last week's episode, and we started talking about, you know, is it true? All that type of stuff, personal experiences and things like that. And, you know, a lot of people felt away. So going back to a couple of months ago, we did a show about Dwight York. And as everyone knows, Dwight York's an absentee father. And, you know, that show caused a lot of problems, you know, because there was a lot of cokehead influencers and stuff like that that were vexed. Because, I don't know, maybe they're not checking for their youth or whatever. So they got really upset. So we started to see, oh, this is a big thing. Like, this is a touchy subject. So, Stephen, what you saying, man? Because I don't want us to take up the show. So talk to the people. What am I
saying, family? What are the people them saying, man?
Talk to the people while we open the phone lines.
I know we did the show. Yeah. And I think, was it mainly the gentleman in question? A few gentlemen disagreed with what we were saying, trying to say like, yo, oh, nah, but you're sticking up for the women. And me personally, I don't think we were, but like, agreed to disagree on it. So today, it is your time to shine, man. Like, once the phone lines open, call in, like, tell man about the other side. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like you were underrepresented that episode, tell me about the other side, man. So tell us about your experience. If you've dealt with I don't like that word, so I'm not going to use it. If the mother of your child might have been causing you headache, stress, you might have had to go through the legal route. You might have had to I don't know. You might have even had to take custody of the kids. Whatever, man. Just come speak your truth, man.
And also, yeah, men, we know that you know, there's women who are difficult as well. So if you've got an experience and you would like to talk about that, enlighten us, man. But you know, we was basically focusing on the fact that, you know, there's a lot of homes within our community that actually are fatherless. See what I mean? A lot of people don't like to discuss it. Well, it's true. And it's something that we need to talk about, man. So people, the phone lines are open. This is not about us. It's about everybody else today. So bring your thoughts to the front, man. We're going to get the phone thing running.
Trust me, we'll bubble like soup though till they're ready, you see me?
Most definitely.
Bubble like soup, man. Bubble like soup. But yeah, because I asked you, Mark, and I asked a few other individuals who are fathers also, and I was like, yo, I said, explain to me, please, like away from the legal route, like explain to me, like if the mother of your child says, yo, you're not seeing the youths and rah. Because it feels like when that situation happens, there's two types of men. There's men who have said, nah, you're mad, I'm seeing my youth, and they'll fight it. But then a lot of the time, which can cause some of these single parent households, you'll have some men who are like, you know what, she's a nightmare, I can't deal with it. And as horrible and as rough as it is, they'll decide to just walk away from the whole situation, including the child, which is crazy, fam. That's why you have to take time when you're selecting partners, man.
Most
Don't
definitely.
just say, yo, you look good, you have big arms, yo, she a fat body. And you get me? You're swapping DNA with people. Do you even know her middle name? Do you know his last name? You know his mother? You know his father? All them thing there. Come on, man.
Bible facts, man. And we're streaming in 1080p, people. So don't feel no way, man. Turn up your quality. But all right. So what were some of the key points from the show, Stephen? Let's just, you know, what were some of the key points that we were saying?
I'm trying to remember now. Some of the key points were, I know we started under the basis because it was 63% based on the race report, who were saying that 63% of Black Caribbean households are single parent households. And then we kind of tried to subdivide it, like, so we weren't making excuses, but we tried to look and say, what would the category be like? What would the criteria be for you to fall under that category? So did it take everything into account, which I was under the assumption that they probably would, in terms of is it like co-parenting, but the child, because you know you can co-parent, but a lot of the time the child might be registered at one parent's house, but they go back and forth. Was that included in there? Was there the whole sometimes the, like you were saying, actually based on the system, I know back in the day as well, there might be incentive for women. They're like, sometimes they might get more, you know, if they're in a relationship with someone but they don't put down that the geezer lives there, they might be entitled to more.
That's a good point, Stephen, because let's start it right there, actually. You know,
yeah, man, go true, man.
A lot of men were angry with them comments, but the reality is this, yeah, the government do play a part in this, and I'm gonna speak about both sides of the coin, because there was people who, you know, females and stuff, who knew that without a man, you know, they could get a flat or anything like that. They could get a flat or anything like that. You know, the government would give women a flat and help. The government kind of like a stepdad. However, that wasn't only aimed at the Caribbean community. Everyone in England could have done that. But I'm saying that other communities, and I want to hear from the men, women as well, other communities, yeah, understand that the family structure is, you know, one of the most important things. Whether we believe it's because of religion, different cultures, whatever it is, every other group, although they do have, you know, a lot of single parent households and stuff in other communities, every other group understands that the family structure is important. Now, I want to hear from all these historians today. We're on here live, man. The phone lines are now open, people. Phone in.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy. Phone in. Whether you agree, disagree, whatever it is,
Well,
phone in. Go on, Stephen. Go on.
Not to interrupt you, sorry,
Cool,
sir. I'm looking through the chat, and it's majority ladies in the building tonight,
I think
and they're
man.
urging the gentleman to call in. Wildlife just left a comment. I might call in. My father is useless. I don't blame the government. Okay, you should call in. That'll be interesting. This is what I'm saying tonight. I just want to hear people's different opinions and experiences that they've gone through. Do you know what I'm saying? That's all I want to hear.
We're here for the calls. You know what our thoughts already. You see what I mean?
Exactly.
We're here for the calls, man. Andrea, big up, man. I did see you in the comments. You made some great points. Kimberly, big up. Western Goddess, big up. Alicia Rich, big up. Here we go now. This is the first call, okay? The phone lines are open.
Yeah, man.
We're rolling now. Hello, you're live on the Express Truth.
What's good? What's good?
What's happening, man? What's happening?
Yeah,
What are your
big up,
thoughts
big
on
up.
this topic first and foremost?
Yeah. Sorry. Say that again, please.
We're just getting straight into it, bro. What's your thoughts on this topic?
Yeah. You know what? When I watched the show,
Yeah.
I just felt like mentioning the fatherless homes in the context of institutional racism. That was kind of the link that I made. Didn't really make sense, in my opinion. Like, if you're trying to talk about solving institutional issues, what's that got to do with, fatherless homes in the black community particularly? So, for example, with maternal death rates, for example, women dying 4 times the rate of everybody else. These doctors, not really looking for whether you got a ring on your hand or nothing, you know what I'm saying, before it happens. So that was my main gripe, I guess, with the order of mentioning things like that.
Okay, so caller, do you believe that fatherless homes? First of all, are you Black Caribbean?
Yes, I am. My mum's from Jamaica, dad's Asian.
Okay, then. So that we've sorted that out. So, do you believe that a lot of our homes are fatherless?
Yes, I believe it. I'm from South London originally, and all my peers and that, where we grew up on the council estate, it was like that. A few people would see their dad on the weekend, but there were definitely, a lot of people, including myself, growing up in single parent homes. So yeah, I believe that it's more common, for sure. Okay,
so do you believe?
Why do you think that is?
Yeah, first of all, why do you think that is? First and foremost, well, not first. Secondly, why do you think that?
Yeah, I think it's one of them ones where, I think when a lot of the Caribbean community come over, it wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, in terms of the prevalence of fatherlessness or some of the other so-called Caribbean problems. I think when you come over into England and not making excuses, because the instinct should be there, paternal instinct should be there, but you come over into England, you're not really finding your feet. A lot of these people aren't ready for the challenges of that, I think. I think it's like maybe my grandparents' generation that had the houses and that, and it's the one underneath that started messing things up. So I would say it's a culture that wasn't really welcoming to you, and I think maybe as men, you're feeling inadequate, and you'd rather just X out of the picture rather than be, a waste man at home, something like that.
Okay, do you think that by us not having the same level of, the family structure the same way it is in other communities, do you believe that that is one of the primary reasons why we are at the bottom of the ladder?
Yeah, in a way, because we need to understand, this is a Western society, and things have been set that way. You know what I'm trying to say? It's mainly a Christian society in the West, so you've got to position yourself like that. You know what I'm saying? In terms of to get a foothold. So if you're trying to level up in business or whatever, you've got to kind of show the powers that be that you think like them. If that makes sense, and you look like them, or So then, I think that obviously if you don't have that structure that they've already kind of set in place, and you're not mirroring that, then how are you going to get a seat at the table? I think that does affect things. But I think even more than that, though, it's not the biggest factor. I think the biggest factor is economic power. you know what I'm saying? So you don't need a two-parent home to build economic power within the black community and get a seat at the table. Because I think money talks over everything more than, you know, whether you're in a relationship with your partner or not. In fact,
True,
there's been plenty
true.
of obviously successful.
That
there's been
whole
plenty
mentality of wanting
Sorry,
a
go on.
seat at the table, like, why don't we just build our own table first and foremost? Secondly, we slightly addressed the economic standpoint on the podcast when we spoke about within our community. Like, there's been partners that have been going on since we got over here. Like, shouldn't we have banks by now? Like, I was trying to, I raised the point where it feels like within the community, partners like the glass ceiling for us financially.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Go on, caller. Go on.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. I mean, it's done on a smaller scale. It's I think the ultimate currency is trust. You know what I'm saying? And you know, from one person to the next person, it's hard to know whether you can trust them, whatever race they are. You know, and I think historically, like, we've come over here and we're a minority, and there's a scarcity mindset that's probably, you know, inbuilt in us. Because, you know, it's a harsh environment for black people to be in point in that period. So then it's kind of like people don't want to support like they could and should, because they think, if I give you £5, where's my next £5 coming from, you know? And that's why, you know, we stay on this kind of petty level when, as you say, you know, by now we should have leveled.
Yeah, the trust, it depends who you trust though, because like, I hear where you're coming from, caller. But when it comes to money, like, there's a handful of people I would trust with money. Like, I could trust Mark with £1 million.
Facts.
I could say, rude boy, hold that million, and I ain't gotta worry about that. Come back for that anytime I need it. Do you know what I'm saying?
But caller, thank you so much for the call. Yeah, the phone lines are going mad
good first call, man. Big up yourself, caller.
Yeah, cool. Big up yourself first, caller. All right, so before we carry on, people, yeah, we're gonna take this call and we're gonna lay out some.
Go on, G.
I ain't gotta worry about that.
You're live on the Express Truth.
How you doing, my brother?
How you doing, bro? Can you turn down your computer?
Oh yeah, I'll turn it off for a second while I'm chatting to man.
Cool.
Respect.
Blessings, bro.
Blessings, man. All right, so caller, what do you think on this topic?
Well, I think like, you know, this is OG Fly, yeah. Big up to Express Truth, but what I think on the topic is it's a bit difficult for man to stay in the house when you know within yourself a system set up for you to live like a bum. And then you've got it in the household, you're not bringing money in. And it's like my fault. I know my dad was driven out by my mum's mouth. The fact that he was a bum and my mum's mouth together, how could you really stay in that environment?
So basically you're saying that a man, like, the government's fighting him down in one breath, then he goes home.
The whole
and
system beating you down already, so you can't really be the man that you want to be. And in the same time, like, the reason why my dad's a waste man, because he never come back. But you have to have that overstanding why they leave the house in the first place. You can't live in an environment where you feel like a bum all your life.
That's true, caller. But do you not feel like then
make it? But
they should leave the environment but come back to the household, at least for the child? I'm not saying move back in.
Yeah, just at least come back for the child. There's no excuses for that. So there's no excuses for fully leaving your child's life, but I can understand why men end up leaving their women, because you're living like a bum. Your woman ain't got the overstanding to just... If everybody had the overstanding, it's not really the person's fault. I mean, everyone ain't got the same like drive and mentality, because once a system, you have to overcome a system, and that takes a strong person. You know, in one day, it takes a strong person. I had to come out of a system after going jail 4 times. But I got to overcome it. But it takes a strong person, so you have to have the overstanding, and then we can go from there. But there's never no excuses for just not coming back.
And you know what it is, caller? The thing is, yeah, I understand the point you're saying. Like, a lot of men feel like, you know, I'm powerless, like, and maybe I'm under pressure in the house. But, you know, why even enter a family setting in the first place then?
But you know what I mean? What? Most of them enter a family setting from the Caribbean. And what I notice is when you stay in the Caribbean, all my family in the Caribbean, I've got their dads. Even if they don't live in the crib, they know their dads, they know their grandparents. It's only when you come over here, the whole atmosphere is different. They like, for majority, to correct me if I'm wrong, but majority seem to have their families in the Caribbean. It's just when you come overseas to England, they don't.
Probably that Western mentality, man.
Yeah, it becomes different, but the West mentality, it just beats you. So you don't come over here and start the family. You've already got the family. Like, I think it's all cushy, but it only takes time to realize that, like, everyone does things too early. I'm just lucky, like, I got three children, but I've started in England. I don't have to go anywhere else. So this is the only struggle I've been fighting all my life. So I know how to duck and turn it. But coming from the Caribbean at, say mid my age, in the 20s or something, or coming from the Caribbean, I've got a whole new fight that I've got to learn to fight for another 20 years.
Yeah, I hear you, caller. I hear
that still.
So
Yeah, go on, sorry.
So caller, what I'm saying is, yeah, when our grandparents got here, like I said in the podcast, our grandparents, and you know, they got here and they were together. You know, what was lost from
they
then.
got here together with the values of being from the Caribbean. You know, even though it was a hard upbringing, but there were certain values that was installed. Once you're growing up over here, even our parents start to not install the values as they would in the Caribbean. They start to be a bit more easy. It's easier over here. The fight ain't the same. The fact that, like, it dilutes the generations. It's just like the ones who came over in the 80s would stand up and fight because of the riots and that. But kids who was born in the 80s, we were taught that things are okay. So we weren't as mentally strong, ready to fight fist to fist like that, stand up, because we were diluted down to it a bit, to the point that now we don't even understand. We're just wild. But that was the problem. They came over with the values, but lost the values because they thought life was better. And even if they didn't think life was better, they thought they had to be more humble because of society. That's what it was. Everything just got diluted down as time went on.
Okay, thank
you. Do we feel like they're integrated into society? Because remember when they came over here, like, all we had was literally each other in it.
Yeah, but it wasn't nothing wrong with integrating. It's just like we are integrating into you're learning from a society that's misleading you, and then they seem in what I'm not happy with our parents is, instead of telling me when I'm growing up that schools is racist, you're telling me to go to school and learn. But that's going to be my backdrop though, because now I don't understand what institution I'm going into. So this is what I'm saying. Even though we was together, our parents are partially as well, at fault for not just telling us the truth. Only the truth can survive you, bro. So if you gave me the knowledge when I was going into school, I shouldn't have had to learn this by myself. I'm learning this all when I'm 15, 16, 17, realizing how bad it is. When my mum already knew it, but she just didn't want me to teach me that because it's not socially right, or you have to ask her why not. But my kids don't know the world's racist, and I'm never going to lie to them because they need to know what fight they're facing from now, not when they're mid-teenagers and figure it out by themselves. It gets late by then.
Okay, I hear that. Now, you made some good points. Enough respect, caller, yeah?
Big up yourself,
blessings,
bro.
man. Bless your show, man. Big up all your time.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Man.
People, right, you know what? One thing I would say.
The phone's going crazy. Now. All right, we keep it flowing.
Yeah, man.
You're live on the Express Truth.
Hello? It's Andrea.
Andrea, how you doing? I did see your comments, man. Very good points.
Trust me.
Yeah, you're not getting any feedback, are you?
No, it's all good. What is your opinion?
Okay, I just wanted to say that I'm probably a little bit older than a lot of people on the line. I'm not sure. Yeah. I'm not going to reveal my age anyway. All I'm going to say is that I had two parents from Barbados that came over here when they were really young, in their early 20s.
Yeah.
I don't think they met over here. I don't think they met in Barbados. They met over here and then they got married. All my mum and dad's friends were married, regardless of what island they came from. Back in those days, most people got married. And if women weren't married, they generally didn't have children.
Yeah.
And I don't know what went wrong. But all I can say is that when I look at all my brothers, my brother's friends, all my peers who are my generation, let's say my generation between, say, 45 upwards, none of them, not one, is married, and they all got kids. And I do not know, some of them got multiple kids from multiple partners. I don't know what went wrong. I would like to think that the system over here was just so overwhelming for the first generation that came, the Windrush generation. It was just so overwhelming, the culture, the lifestyle, obviously the abuse that they got, and they really couldn't focus on trying to instill values, the positive values, maybe negative values they brought with them, but they didn't have time to instill positive values into their children. in terms of relationships, commitment, responsibility, accountability. They remember when a lot of them came over, they didn't bring the parents with them. I think my parents were like 21. They left their parents behind. So when things got harsh here in the UK, there was no one to say, okay, let's sit down, let's try and talk about it, let's see what we can do. They just had to go out there and grind. Don't be too hard on the grandparents, because most of these, you know, my mum's a grandmother now, great-grandmother. Don't be too hard on them. There was nobody to sit down and talk to them and try and get the family back on track. They just had to try the best that they could. So they were preoccupied with making a living in this country, which was harsh. It was harsh. The conditions were harsh in terms of living, in terms of the abuse they got, in terms of working conditions were harsh. They were so preoccupied with making a sparse living, they couldn't really focus on their kids. And then the kids were being miseducated and undereducated in schools. That's another thing. So we were leaving school, the pushers right to the back of the classroom. We remember all those tropes from the colonial times were on us, saying that we couldn't be educated, the pushers right to the back. And what happened? I think with my generation, a lot of the guys initially, and you will know this coming from Birmingham because you might detect an accent, and from Manchester, they got into first armed robbery, then they got into drug dealing, and then that's when the gangs were born. And to me, that's when it all started. That's my personal opinion.
Okay, well, thank you so much for your opinion.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, man.
I wanted to just ask you a question, Andrea. You know, I said in the show, and I'll say it to you as a sister, I know a lot of black women, a lot. You know, I grew up with 5 sisters, you know. I know a lot of black women, and I'm telling you the truth right now, 95% of them are single. And if they don't want to be single, they have to go 5 levels below. Do you know what I mean? To pick up, they gotta carry a man. And I just feel like other women, if an Indian woman, she knows no matter what level she's at, she can find an Indian man to marry her. You know what I mean? But in our community, I feel like, where's all the men? Why are we not building our family structure? Why are so much of these women single? You know, why are they struggling? No, because it doesn't matter unless you've got a well paid job. And I see someone in the chat. Please be respectful in the chat. We can't tarnish all black women with the same brush. We know that some of them can be quite difficult. We know that some can be scorned. But that ain't 100% of black women. So what's your thoughts on that, Andrea?
I agree with you. There's a lot of black women who are single, or there's a lot of black women who maybe made a mistake early on in their life and they've just got one kid. And they work really hard to support their child, and whether it's a boy child or a girl child. I don't know whether black guys, obviously they have racism to deal with, same as black women, but they can't really use that in 2021 as an excuse. For some reason, we've just got to come together. I think black women are more prepared to settle. They could be college educated, degree educated to high levels. They will settle with a black man, whether he's a bus driver or not. He can be whatever he's doing, and he just will not commit. And you have to ask the black men of that. You can't ask me, because I don't know why. I see it in my family, and I do not know why. I see it in my own relationship, and I do not know why. Black women, very, very highly educated, humble black women. It's not all about this. People in the chat might be being a bit disrespectful, but, you know, we can all deal with that. It's not all about the black women buying weave and makeup. I see beautiful black women every day in my life, and they're single. I've got beautiful black friends, women that are going out there, working their backsides off, whether it's their own business or they're on the corporate ladder, or they might just be working in Tesco's. Yeah. And they're doing the right thing. Humble, beautiful black women, hardworking, and they can't get a guy, a black man. They want black men, because remember, black women have been programmed, conditioned to be loyal to the black man.
That's
regardless of whether he's in the government or taking the bins out. We've been loyal to the black man. I know I've been loyal. I know my friends have been loyal. I know my mum was loyal to the black man. And what do we get in return? We've upheld the black man for all these decades, from the 40s onwards. to 2021, and where's reciprocity? Where do they reciprocate our loyalty to them? They come on the chat line talking about weave and makeup.
But Andrea,
to me, they're in the minority.
Andrea, don't be triggered by the chat because we don't know if that guy is even black. Moderators, if someone's disrespecting, take him out.
Yeah, keep it respectful.
Don't let him. Take him out. Man. Moderators, take him out, man. But Andrea, thank you for the call. I've loved your comments, and thank you for supporting the show.
Can I just say to you guys, keep on doing what you're doing. I subscribe, I share. I think this is a debate that's long to be had. I really respect you guys, young black guys, intelligent black guys. There's more of you out there. I know you intelligent black guys are out there. Don't be scared of speaking up. Do not be scared of speaking up. You're so intelligent. You're so righteous. We need guys like you in our community. Honestly.
Most definitely.
Honestly, I've got so much praise and respect for what you're doing. The three of you. Well, I know there's another chap that comes on, but the two of you, I've got so much respect for you. Don't stop doing what you're doing.
Most definitely, and we appreciate the kind words.
Appreciation.
Okay, right. Your parents should be proud.
Thank you. I hope they're locked in. So, thank you.
Okay,
right,
bye.
Take care. Right.
Bye-bye.
All right, I gotta start the phone line 1 sec. People, I gotta start the phone line just for 1 sec. Just for 1 sec. Gotta turn it off just for 1 sec. Listen, I'm telling you now, yeah, that there's a problem. Men, you can phone in right now. All those angry men, you can phone in right now.
That's what I mean. No one's calling.
Let me break something down quickly. Hold on, people. Hold on, people.
Can't even turn it down, innit?
Can't even turn the phone. All right, the phone line's off just for 1 minute, yeah? So, I'm saying this. Yeah, I'm saying this right now. I know a lot of black women. A lot. And a lot of them are single, yeah? The ones who want a family, marriage or whatever, and they're not no weave wearing, all this stuff, what I'm seeing in the chat. No, these are proper sisters who have been raised right, from good homes, and want a family. They are struggling to find men. A lot of our men have turned to crime. I'm talking about from the Caribbean community. A lot of our men have turned to crime. You see it now. A lot of men do podcasts. They can only talk about back in the day. Back in the day, war stories and stuff. A lot of our men can't even reason. I'm not dissing black men. I'm just saying a lot of them. Yeah. Number two, a lot of them don't want black women. I'm being real. A lot of them are laying their hat everywhere else but with a sister. Yeah. These are facts. And I'm saying this because I want them kind of men to call in and tell me something different. Yeah. You can't chat to me.
A lot of confidence in the
comments. A man can't chat to me because I do right by the sisters.
Facts.
I do right by my children. Facts. They don't want for nothing. Emotionally or financially.
Bible facts.
See what I'm saying? And what I'm trying to say is there's only a handful of men I'm seeing moving like that. Anytime a man says he wants a black woman, you get guys coming, well, what about this? Why don't you go for this kind of woman? Why don't you go for that kind of woman?
You gotta try all the flavors. Rude boy, I'm talking about women that I like, not ice cream, you know.
Yeah, that's that. A lot of men, sex is all that's on their mind. Bringing children in the world without a plan. You know what I mean? Soon as the going gets tough, they're out. And I don't want to hear my baby mother won't let me see the child. I don't want to hear that because you can go to court. 500 quid ain't hard to get. It's not hard to get. I'm not sugarcoating nothing. I'm warming up. You're gonna go hard. The £500 ain't hard to raise. A man can go and work at Amazon, fam. You don't need to walk out your child's life. You don't. There is a problem. There is a problem in our community. I know this. I've grown up in Birmingham, yeah, in the Caribbean community. Went to Saturday schools. Went to school, football, boxing, trampolining, you name it. Matter of fact, I'll tell a quick story actually before we open back the phone line up, yeah? Because I want these men to call in. I really want them to call in. When I was having one of my children, we used to go to these baby classes.
I think it's LeMay's classes, G.
Whatever the name is. Yeah, shout out to the whole of Derby as well, yeah? Big up the Derby crew.
Big up.
I used to go to these classes where you got to sit down and do all these different things, yeah? And there was probably about 20 people in the class. Now, let's say there was 5 black women in there. I was the only man there, fam. These are facts. These are facts.
Why the only black man there?
I was the only black man, and I remember at the time, I'm saying, hold on. How come them black girls, where's their man? Indian man was in there, white man was in there. And, you know, all I heard back was...
So you bounced before the youth.
I heard back, the man might be at work. I'm saying, well, the Indian man's here. The white man's here. I'm here. Where are them men? I mean, before the baby's even born. What is going on? Then, you know, you got guys who, you know, don't like hearing this convo. But you can go to court. If your name's on the birth certificate.
In French, he said you can go to court. The court system in the UK favours women. Fam,
I hear what he's saying, Stephen, but it ain't true. It's not true. I'm not spreading no fake news.
If you've got a clean criminal history, fam, you've never abused a woman, you've never abused a child, you spent time with your child, you spent time, money, energy, emotion, everything. Fam, you've got, and like you said, you're on the birth certificate. You're entitled, fam. Don't be scared of the court system.
And you know what it is? If you're somebody who... I see the phone lines going absolutely crazy. Gonna open it back in a sec.
2 seconds.
If you're someone who has a history of violence and stuff, you're gonna have to work through it. You're gonna have to take what you're given at the start. But if you're a brother who's got a clean history, yeah, and it's a genuine bad mind thing that the woman's, because I know it does happen. It's happened to a lot of men. You can fight it, people. You can fight it for less than £350.
I'm a law student.
£350. Whoever that law student is, you can back up what I'm saying. It costs £350 to go to court, fam. And I'm going to break it down. It costs you £100 for mediation first and foremost. Mm-hmm. If your baby mother don't go to mediation, you can take it to court for £250. If you have a clean record, I'm guaranteeing you they'll give you joint custody. I'm not asking you, you know. I'm not asking you.
Facts.
If you got somewhere for the child to live, the people then will give you your child. So why do we keep walking away? A lot of men are walking away. And then when these children grow up, we see it with all these guys. We see it. I said it in the podcast. I'm not mincing my words, people. I said it in the podcast. What do you see on these documentaries? Why do they say they were gangbanging because they didn't have no dad? But then when man make it in something else, all the praises go to the mom. Stephen, am I lying?
Bible facts.
Let's open back the phone lines, man. I just wanted to warm up the men. I wanted to warm up the men. Hopefully they're warm now. Now we can get the phones bubbling now. And women, you can phone too. But they ain't, no, trust me, we ain't hiding, man. The phone lines are open again. Let's get it going. Let's get it going, man. See what I'm saying? But these are the facts. These are the facts. You live on the Express Truth.
All right.
Hi, how you doing?
Hello.
Oh, yeah. Hello.
Hello. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I got in on the topic. I think I missed some of it, but is it okay to still have an input?
Yeah. Have your input. What do you think about this topic? What do you think?
I am not quite sure, but what I gleaned of it, I heard people were talking about people from the Windrush generation and family life and lack of fathers in the home.
Yes.
Is it that sort of thing?
Yes, that's what we're talking about.
Right. From my perspective, what I've seen and experienced in this country, I think the brothers and them get a seriously hard fight. A lot of females tend to, they have these babies, they have ulterior motive in having these babies. And early o'clock, I've seen it, early o'clock after these children are born, the father can't be seen because get what? The woman don't get their flat already and they kick these men to the curb. I've seen it. And what I see happening, what I've seen happening is that these young ladies going to have children, sometimes by different men, mostly. By the time they're 23, 25, they have 2, 3, 5 different children for different people. None of the fathers not around. By the time they might be coming up to their late 20s, the mom might get a job. And these children become key children because the mom out there in some little low-paid job doing something. And the children on their own coming home from school at evenings, all different hours. Who are they to look for parental guidance when the mom is out and they don't have no father figure there? Some of the mothers as well never grow up with any father themselves. So it's a whole cycle going over and over. Who is going to show these little boys how to go in the toilet and use the toilet properly? Women could show boy children that. Yeah. Some of these children, they have grandparents here who, these mothers, in victimizing the father, the children's father, the feelings and all these things. Children don't know their family is right here and the family is right here. That's another side of it. Another side of it is that they don't realize that they're growing these children for the system. As soon as these children become preteen, they start acting up, a lot of them. And then when they start acting up, they're having exclusion from schools and all of that. Youth offenders prison, and then big prison. That's my take on things that I've seen happening here.
Okay, thank you for the call. You sound like you're from Barbados. Am I right?
No, I'm not.
Sorry.
The Caribbean.
But where you're not going to say where you're from?
Why? You can try guessing.
I thought you was Barbados.
If it's not Barbados, I haven't got a clue, man. Because I would have said the same.
Yeah. But thank you for your call and your comments.
Appreciate the call, man.
Thank you for listening. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Okay, let's get into it, man. So, yeah, I said on the show, Stephen, I said, women stop. Here we go.
Oh, I said Trini. Yeah. You know what? You're right.
You live on the Express Truth.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes. When you talking about getting to court and that, my personal experience. Nah, bro, it's not that easy, bro.
All right, give me your experience, fam. Give me your experience,
my
please.
Experience. I've been going to court for the past 3-4 years. Yeah. Back and forth to court, and I still ain't seen ain't seen my child.
So what's the reason why the court ain't done that?
What's the reason? Yeah. One of the reasons is they're making allegations about sexual abuse and all sorts. I've got the paperwork to prove it to you. I can send it to you now. I can send you all the information now. I've got 2 contact orders to see the child, and I still haven't seen the child.
So what? So hold on, caller.
Who made the accusations? Was it the child's mother?
Wait, hold on, Stephen. Let him talk.
I work with vulnerable children and adults.
Yeah.
I've gone to the court and I've shown them my paperwork, and they said, "No, it's not true. We don't believe it." And they're telling me that I need to do a risk assessment to have contact with my child. Explain that. I work with vulnerable children and adults, bro. I work with children.
Yeah.
I work with children that don't see. I'm a coach. I coach football, and I work in a youth center. I've gone to court and I said to the judge, "This is what I do for a living." Yeah. They said, "No, we don't believe you." My ex-partner works in the system, so she knows how to bend it. So when you're talking about, it's easy to go.
Alright, caller, let me interject, caller. Let me interject. Alright, go on, finish, and then I'll talk, caller. Go on.
But what I'm saying is, it's not that easy, bro. Because like I said, I work with children, and they don't see their parents. They don't see their father. So it's like it's a what do you call it? It's like it's a trend, and it's only in the black community that I see it. I don't see no Asians do it. I don't see the Chinese do it. It's only in the black community. Why is that?
But caller, let me just, because caller, I need to ask you questions because the people wanna. I don't want you to get too personal, but how long was you with this sister who's doing this to you?
Not long enough to know her. That's the mistake that I made.
But caller, hold on one sec, because I just want to get to the bottom of this. Because so, how long would you say you were messing with this sister, relationship, whatever it was?
Prior to getting pregnant, a year.
All right, yeah, that's fair enough. Now she got pregnant, and how long was it until she stopped you from seeing your child? Is it boy or girl?
Boy.
All right, how long was it until she stopped you from seeing him?
How long?
Yeah, like was it 2, 1?
Long. Let me give you the long story short. The mistake that I made, I moved her into my yard.
Yeah.
I moved into my yard. She took out a restraining order.
Yeah.
I breached the restraining order, and then I went to prison for the first time in my life, bro.
Yeah.
First time. I don't have no criminal history. I come out of prison, and I went to go get contact order to go see my youth.
Yeah.
It's been 3-4 years and nothing's happening, bro.
So
Nothing's
what have the
happening.
court
No,
said?
nothing.
What have the court said? What have the court said? Why
the
why
court
is it
said?
is it the sister who's stopping you? So the court,
or they're trying to look down.
is
on
it
you
the
because you've
sister
got a
that's
record?
not bringing the child for the contact?
Both. I've got paperwork. I've gone to the contact centre. They said, oh, no, Mr. Ray, the court have got it all wrong. But what kills it, my ex works across the road from the place.
Yeah.
And then I've gone back to court. The judge said, oh, you got a history of drug use. I said, I work with vulnerable children and adults. I showed them my past. I showed them everything. I showed them everything, bro. And there's nothing. They're not giving me no blind, no nothing. So when you're saying it's easy, you never walked in my shoes.
Family, first of all, you don't know that, caller, yeah, with all due respect, yeah? Because I got 2 different baby mothers, you know. You see what I'm saying? So you don't know if I've walked in your shoes, first and foremost.
All right,
I hear the passion. Wait, hold on, caller. I hear the passion in your voice. I hear the passion in your voice, and I understand it does happen to a lot of men. Now, have you got other kids, caller?
Hear what I'm saying, bro. Hear what I'm saying. I'm past that. I just want to have contact with the youth. I'm past it. This is what I'm saying. I think about it now, yeah. I could easily go do something now, yeah, on road, and people say, "Oh, he's a violent
Don't
guy,
do that.
this, he's that."
Don't do that, caller.
Exactly. This is my point. So every single day that goes by, I think to myself, no. People are saying I'm doing this, I ain't doing that. I go to work and I come home. I'm paying for a child that I don't see.
Yeah, I hear that. She's got you on CSA, and you still can't see your child.
You still haven't got access to your child.
Still can't see the pitney.
Is this your only child as well?
Big £400 a month for
£400. I hear that. I hear why you sound so passionate. £400. That's mortgage money in Birmingham.
Rude boy. It's not no joke thing out here, fam. It's not no joke thing. It's every single day I wake up, I think to myself, should I do a mad thing?
Nah, don't do that, caller.
No, man, just keep fighting, man.
Don't do that. Go on.
Rude boy, the youth's 11 years old, fam.
Yeah.
He's 11 years old. I see the youth 3 times since the youth was 2.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's not right, rude boy. Rude boy, I've been going to court from 2013. Back and forth. Nothing. Taking time off work to go do the right thing. I easily could have said, nah, you know what, forget that, bun that. But like I said, so when I saw your thing, yeah, of course I get triggered. I think, nah, man, rude boy, I didn't grow up in no single parent household. I didn't grow up like that.
Yeah, you're trying to do the right thing. But you know what it is? From my understanding, yeah, when you go to court, and please tell me, if your ex breaks the order, she's supposed to get punished by the same court. Am I right or wrong?
Bro, listen to this. Let me kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah.
She avoided coming to court for a whole year. Bro, it wasn't until the judge said, "Oh, Mr. Ray, you've been coming to court for a whole year. All right, furthermore, I'm going to send out a warrant for arrest. So if she don't turn up to court, we're going to arrest her." She turned up to court, and then she's making more allegations about I'm threatening the youth, I'm trying to get back at her and whatever. I'm thinking to myself, this is a childish business. If that's the case, why not I do her something then?
No, caller. Hear what I'm saying to you. I hear the passion in your voice, and I know it's hard, yeah? I know it's hard, caller. But do not do anything like that, because it will only make a bad situation worse.
I'm past doing anything.
Have your mum reached out to her, your sisters?
Bro, she tried to move to my mum on the street, fam. She tried to punch up my mum on the street, fam. Literally tried to thump up my mum on the road, fam. She come to my mum's yard, running up her mouth, fam. I've said to my mum, nah, let's go to her dad's yard. But my mum's like, nah, I'm not into that because she's playing. It's like a gate. It's a joke to her.
Yeah.
She gets a kick out of me seeing how bad. Bro, you know, to the point, like I said, I've gone from one end to the next end. I've done everything possible legally in the book. The people, the judges in the court they're all on her side playing a game. So you can't tell me about it's easy to go to court, bro.
Family,
if it was that easy, I won't be ringing up.
Nah, but hear what I'm
That's
saying,
my
caller.
point.
That's why we got the
easy.
show tonight, man.
Bro, I spent thousands of pounds going to court.
I hear that, caller. You miss what you're taking. You're only taking what you want to hear. I said if man ain't got no criminal record, and you've got, but even so, another man told me what you told me today.
Listen to what what I'm saying, bro. Listen to what I'm saying, bro. Yeah. I was working with vulnerable adults. A paedophile come out of prison, yeah. I've seen it with my own eyes. He got contact with his youth. I've seen it with my own eyes, and the same paedophile, he lives across the road from my school. Wow. Within 6 months, 6 weeks of the youth coming out of prison, he's seen his youth. I looked at it, I thought, oh, Tid, what kind of joke thing is this? A paedophile, bro. So I am passionate about it because I'm telling you what I've seen. I'm telling you what I'm going through. Like,
I hear that, man. I hear the passion. I hear it, man. I hear it.
Come September, I'm gonna do the man thing by myself. I'm gonna go look for the youth because by then he's in high school. That's what I'm gonna do. So when I see things about broken homes and all that, no, I don't come for no broken home, bro. And it's not, and it's not. I see it as a thing where it's like it's a trend
for the women to stop you from seeing. All right, let me ask you one more question. If it's too personal, say what happened? Why this lady's moving like this? Not that she's doing it.
What happened?
What happened? Why is she moving like this, caller? I'm not saying it's no fault or anything. I'm saying what happened? Did you try and break up with her, or what happened? Why she's moving like this?
Fam, listen to what I'm saying, fam. The biggest mistake that I made was allowing this creep to come into my house and live.
Yeah.
Think about it. I let her in my yard. I come back to my yard. Boom. Locks are changed on the door, and there's a restraining order. What kind of idiot thing is that? Man's working 6-7 days a week, rude boy. 6-7 days a week to come on to restraining order. And it's been how many years? So for you to say, it's easy, if it was that easy, I won't be ringing up.
I hear what you're saying,
but
hold on, caller. Is it a black woman?
Yes, fam. It's a black woman, fam. Okay. That's the mad thing about it. It's a black woman. It's when I'm telling people my story, they're like, oh, is that a white woman? I'm like, no, it's a black woman, fam.
Yeah, that's crazy. But the worst thing is you're doing the right thing, but if you walked away, then they're going to call you a deadbeat and all that,
Well, there you go. See, this is the whole point. This is where I saw the headline. I'm like, nah. Like, it's not always the case, bro. It's not always the case. I know man them going to court for 7-8 years and still can't. Same position as me. I'm like, bro, you've been there for 7-8 years. I would have given up after the 4th year. Bro, listen to this. The last time I went to the court, the baby mother, she said I tried to run her over. I've got the paperwork. I can send it to you. She tried to say I tried to run her over. I said to the judge, no, that's virtually impossible.
What?
Listen to this. I'll end it.
Yeah, go on.
Now, go on.
And then she goes, I was lying about he tried to run me over. Bro, I looked at the judge. I said, look, she just admitted that she's lying. The judge goes, nah, you still got to pay £2,000 to do a risk assessment. So I'm like, a risk assessment for what? That don't make no sense. And I work with vulnerable children and adults.
Yeah, that something don't sound right, caller. Something it sounds bad. Right. Have you got a legal team, caller? Have you got a?
No, bro, no legal nothing. It's just me one getting to court. Me one, no legal nothing. I've contacted all the solicitors pro bono, no help. Nothing, no help. I see man raping children get help. That's the joke. That's what you got to understand. Think about it now, yeah. A woman can have a child, yeah, and then they can take away the youth and take the youth to foster care.
Yeah.
But when the father wants to see the youth, he can't see the youth. That's the system that we're living in.
Yeah, I hear that.
It's a joke. That's what I'm trying to say, fam. It's a complete joke. I've taken time off work to go standing in a place for them to tell me I've been to court, yeah, and I've been in there for 30 seconds. They said, you got to come back next 3 months. 3 months for what?
And you got no contact with the youth at all? No FaceTime, nothing?
Say again?
No contact with the child at all?
Bro, listen to what I'm saying. It's so far gone. I've had 2 FaceTimes with the youth. When I'm talking to the youth, the woman's telling him what to say.
Yeah, she's probably twisting his mind as well against you, man.
I see the youth, he goes, I don't want to speak to you no more. I thought, right.
Yeah, because your baby mother, I know people don't like that word, but I'm just using it. She's poisoning the youth. That's why, fam.
Oh, there you go. But you go.
She's poisoning the youth.
How often is it happening?
It happens.
How often it
happens. It
happens more than.
It does happen, and I do think that, the government, there should be better laws for dads. I do hear that, caller, but thank you for the call, man, and I hear the passion in your voice, and I hope you get it sorted.
Keep fighting, King.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. You live on the Express Truth.
I have a call.
Yeah.
Yes. Good evening. I'm just listening to the discussion on your live.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to pass on a number and an email contact for that caller to deal with his problem through the Royal Courts of Justice. They've got an advice centre that deals with this sort of problem.
Can you put that in the chat, please, caller?
I can't because I'm just using. I'm on my TV.
All right. What's the number? I'll put it in the chat now. What's the number, caller?
Okay, it's 0203.
0203.
03.
Yeah.
0203 74.
Yeah.
58.
Yeah.
92.
Yeah.
1. And then there's an email. Yeah?
Yeah.
And the email contact is family.
Yeah.
Triage. TRI.
Yeah.
AGE.
Yeah.
At.
Yep.
RCJ. That's Royal Courts of Justice.
Yeah.
Advice.
Yeah.
.org. .uk.
Okay, we've got that caller. Okay, so that's for the gentleman that was just in the chat. I mean, on the phone line.
Okay, fantastic.
Do you work for these people?
I've done work for them in the past. I'm a law student, but I'm not going to say more than that. But I'm so touched by this situation. I don't like to see it. I'm school governor. I'm involved with aspects of making it better for our community. So I just had to get on the phone. I'm really very sorry for him. But there's always two sides to a story. But if he wants to do things the right way, I suggest he follows this route.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
All right. Take it easy now. Bye.
Bye-bye.
You're live on the Express Truth.
I just had to get on the phone. I'm really...
Caller, can you turn on your phone or computer, please?
Yeah. Apologies.
No problem. What do you think of this topic? What's your views?
Yeah. No. Firstly, big up to you. I was actually interacting with some of you, man, on this topic before you went live with it. So, yeah, nice one for that. But I just wanted to bring in an aspect that hasn't really been covered. Like, as people have raised some good points. But I think this whole fatherhood and the lack of fathers in the Caribbean household, that title is almost a little bit misleading. I don't think this issue is unique to the Black Caribbean community or even the Black community. It's a poor people issue. So I know you lot were talking about this report that came out, and it was, you know, the white Caucasian community had the least, and then it was kind of trickled down from there.
Yeah.
But that report should have been white working class, white middle class, and then look at the statistics there. White working class people have similar single mum issues. That's the whole thing of like the single mum like smoking a fag walking down the road. That's a white working class thing. And if you look at how many of those families have stayed together, it's very few. The problem is the black Caribbean community in this country is largely poor, is largely working class. There ain't many of us that are middle class, upper class. So, and when you compare that with our grandparents, a lot of them came over and they were educated, like, and even to this day, when I look at some of my family that's from the Caribbean, like my cousins and that, but some of them they were so much more advanced than I was in school.
Yeah.
So it's got nothing to do with us individually as a people. It's just this is a social economic issue. Like my parents, but they're having their 25th anniversary this year. My auntie and them, they're having their 23rd anniversary this year. It's not like something that's so unique to us that we just can't make relationships work. It's just a social issue. How many poor people make bad decisions? Like, that's just facts. Like, that's why more poor people are in prisons. That's why most of the single mums or teenage pregnancies are for poor people. It's got nothing to do with our, black Caribbean men. They're this, they're that. There are other issues.
Caller. Let me just interject a second. I'm speaking from personal experience, and what I'm saying is, growing up and even now, there's not a lot of families in our community. Not a lot. There isn't. There is. I went school. No, hold on, call one sec. I went school in an area in Birmingham called Erdington, where there's a lot of council estates where white people live, and even the majority of those children came from two-parent households.
Let me say this. Maybe your experience of Erdington, that my mum and all that, their family, they're all from like Dudley around Birmingham, so I know Birmingham and all that well, yeah.
Yeah.
But your experience must be unique, bro, because most people would appreciate that the fact that the single mum thing is also a white people issue too. Like, it's not. I hear what you're saying. Yeah, there were some that were still together, but I know tons that they didn't know their mums, or do you know what I mean, or their dad's in prison or stuff like that. And this is what I'm saying. Like, if you take this issue and apply it to like other things that affect poor people, yes, there's a ton of black Caribbean men in prison. There's also a ton of white working class men in prison. You don't find rich middle class men in prison typically. Like, so as I said, I'm not taking away there are other issues, but I just wanted to shed light on the fact that it's not only like, our black men are rubbish or black Caribbean.
True, but we're the poster child for everything negative, though, isn't it?
Say that again.
It's true, but we're the poster child for everything negative, though, aren't we?
Exactly. No, and I think that is the point, and that's the sad thing that we have to get over as people, is that like the media loves to portray us in a negative way, and like we have to just be very aware of that and try and like counter it. But yeah, man, like as I said, my parents are coming up to their 25th anniversary. I'm married myself. Like,
yeah,
it's not like we can't do this, man. And we need to build each other up. Like, I know there's a lot of women that's hurt in this chat, but like we need to build each other up, not come on here like, chatting people down. I remember my dad when I was growing up. Yeah,
but caller, we have to though, caller, because the situation is really bad. I'm being real with you. I'm saying that I see it in the work environment. I see it in every environment that I'm personally in, and I know it ain't unique to me. Like, it's not unique to me. There's an issue, caller, and I think we can't fix the issue until we admit. It's like someone who's an alcoholic. They can't fix themselves until they admit, there's an issue. We're only 1.9 million. Caller, we're only 1.9 million in this country, yeah? Out of that, it's African, Caribbean, Black British, whatever you want to call yourself. we only a drop in the ocean here, but you know, everyone's who's come after us are lapping us. It's like we're not understanding that the family structure is one of the most important things to the development of the community. And even if
hold on.
Go on.
So there's a couple again, like there's a couple of things there, yeah.
Go on.
So number one, when you're talking about like other things, other groups have lapped us and all this kind of stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Like let's actually break that down. So boom, couple years ago, I've been watching this report, yeah, for a couple years now.
Yeah.
2 years ago, we weren't the group with the most amount of single parent household. Facts, and I can send you the link. We weren't the ones 2 years ago. So let's not go on like we're so far away from everybody else. Yes, there's an issue, but like I'm speaking facts here, but people are going to be scratching their heads. And I remember I sent it to my friends at the time, some of my African brethren and that. They were like, "Raw, like we're further down there than you." So let's just get away from that.
So who you saying, Colin? You saying the Africans were below us with single parent households?
The black were below us, and if you need the stats, I can send it to you.
Yeah, man, send that over, Colin. I'll put that on the screen.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
But my point is that like there are things that are definitely wrong with us. Yeah, there are things that are definitely gone wrong. Yeah, but unless we understand why they've gone wrong, we ain't going to be able to fix it. And I think that's probably a problem with the black community as a whole. We're still scratching our heads as to why we're at the bottom of the totem pole. Like, there are other things. I do think the religious aspect is a big thing as well. Like, if you look at the Sikhs, the Hindus, all them, they have a religious belief that sews people together. You see, us, even look at our grandparents. I'm sure maybe your grandparents were the same. When they come here, these were church-going people. And whatever you think of church, I'm a church-going man, yeah. But whatever you think of church, yeah, church has given the community some good morals, and we've strayed away from that. And when you want to look at, last week you spoke about the African community, and many of your African brethren, they had both their parents were together. I guarantee you, all them African parents were going to church every week.
Okay, I hear that. So you're saying religion helps keep families together, or are you saying religion helps families? Go on.
You tell me. Look at the Indian community, yeah.
Yeah.
Like not Pakistani and that, but that's another one. But Indian, Sikh, Hindus. Well, how many of them have broken homes?
Not a lot.
Don't have them.
Not a lot.
Often. All right then. Same with the Muslims, and so on and so on. The Jews and all of that. It gives you a foundation. And even in England, we start to see that a lot of them, they're not getting married no more, or all these kind of things, because this ain't really a Christian country no more neither. So I just feel like that gives you a foundation, and people don't want to hear that.
Yeah. You know, I hear you. Every opinion is welcome. And
listen, big up you, man. I've been listening to you, man, for a couple of years. You do some good stuff, man. So keep it up.
Yeah, man, thank you.
Yeah,
thank
man.
you.
Respect for the call, man.
Cool.
Yeah, bless, man.
So is church the cure for the black community? Church
ain't the cure, fam. Church isn't the cure.
Fam, you know what it is? Nah, we're talking about overall cure. That would only help a number of people. You know what I mean? That would only help certain individuals, because you gotta remember everyone's different, innit? So like one man might say, you know what, Christianity helped me. Another man might say, you know what, Islam helped me. Another man might say, you know what, Hinduism helped me.
You live on the Express Truth.
Yo, Mark, it's Ben. What's going on? Mark,
yes, Ben. What's going on, man? What's going on, Ben? What you saying?
Yeah, what's good, you lot, man? Yeah, I know that basically me and Mark spoke. He spoke like last week about this topic, actually.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's one obviously that's close to me, because obviously, well, I'll let everyone else know that I've been in a situation like that, because I was brought up in a, say, quote unquote fatherless home. Or so-called like father left when I was 16, and my brother was 7. So my mum, so I mean, at the time when it happened, I mean, it was a bit of a crazy one. So, I mean, I think that it is a big problem. I mean, I know the last caller was saying that, it's down to socio-economic issues, and I do hear that, but it affects our community the most. And I know that they were also mentioning like the white working class, and that happens there. But as far as I see it, for me, as I see it, it's already their country. So I'm not really watching that. And also, we're only like 1%, so it's bad for me.
Yeah, because you know what it's like saying, Ben, you know what it's like saying, yeah? If you, in Jamaica, yeah, there's like a Chinese population, yeah? It's like that Chinese population, the majority of them being single, it's just unheard of, fam. And I'm not making exactly. I hear what that caller's saying, you know, because he's probably got a different experience to me. But what I'm trying to say is that, you know what, you've just said it, Ben. How did it affect you growing up, yeah? How did it change your household? And I don't want you to get too personal because I know, you know, it's personal to you. But when your pops walked out, tell me how it affected you. And I know you're successful today, but tell me how it affected you and your little brother.
It's a crazy one. I don't know where to start. I think it was a bit of a crazy one. I mean, I think at the time it was very sad because at the time, I was doing my GCSEs at the time, and I used to get like the thing is like my dad didn't live in the household, but we used to speak and stuff like that. And around that time, I'll get messages every day or so saying good luck or whatever. Then one day it kind of just stopped. Like the contact just stopped. Like, I don't remember a time. There wasn't an exact date when it happened, but it just stopped. And then it was like over 10 years since, you know, like we actually got into contact again. But that's how long the disappearance was. It was literally a disappearance. And so basically, and I say for my little brother, well, I've spoken to him about it a bit, but he doesn't know what it is to have a dad at all, because he was so young when it happened. So it does affect you in different ways. Like I don't think I can really go into as much detail as how, because I don't even really fully know myself, but it does change your outlook and you kind of.
How was it for you? How was it for your mum, Ben? How was it for your mum without your dad? And I don't want to like bring up, you know, any trauma or anything, but how was it for your mum growing you guys up alone for the most part?
Yeah, well, I guess it's the same story where you've got to be mum and dad, but you know, you just got to, I guess, like just have strong morals and just still be hard, not to like just not to be soft on you and like cuddle you up too much, man. I think partly that really. There's a lot of other stuff, but it's always just kind of having to do everything really. Well, because I say before that, I mean, she was more or less doing everything anyway. Because as I said, it wasn't like a marriage setup where like he was in the house, but yeah, man, it's just one of them ones. But that's pretty much what I can say in terms of that. But yeah, man, it makes it harder, but it does make it unnecessarily harder when, you know, things are already hard anyway. Things are already hard, especially, you know, black boys growing up, and that at the time, like in London, like there was a lot of knife crime, there was all sorts going on. So it's like it's a bit of a mad one when you think you've got youths out there and there's madness going on and you're just not there for them. And there's a lot more dangers now, man. Like you got paedophilia, you got all sorts of stuff, and you ain't got the male guidance to really guide you through things. You got all sorts of dangers, like for example, like you got Me Too movement, people getting accused of sexual harassment, and I think with that growing up, especially now, you do need your father to just guide you on those issues on how to move a certain way to, you know, avoid certain issues and, you know, grow up in the right way. But, you know, I think I managed to get through just kind of through different uncles and different mentors and so forth. But yeah, it does make it harder, definitely. Like, I'll say that.
So are you, you know, coming from that, and people, this is Ben, I actually talked to Ben on a personal level, yeah? And I'm saying, are you working hard to change that too, Ben? Like, are you making sure that, you know, you take the time?
100%, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not in a relationship now or anything, but I'm taking my time still, but I'm not gonna, you know, I'm gonna follow. I'm looking to follow the right example.
Is it a sister you're looking for, Ben?
I want to get married.
Is it a sister you're looking for, Ben?
Is it what, sir?
Is it a sister that you are looking for?
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%, man. Yeah, so like for me, like definitely that's what I want. So, but the main thing for me is just to like we'll work on myself so that I'm able to provide financially too. You know, to get into like the exact position that I want to get into to, you know, start, you know, setting up a foundation and stuff like that. But yeah, like 100%, man. I know that obviously we've been through lockdown and all of that, so I've really been out there, stuff like that. So I've just been focusing on myself and getting myself right. So then when I'm in that position, like, I'm not going to be in a situation where I'm walking out or, you know, or I'm just like doing a madness. You know, I'm in a position to be responsible, man. So yeah, that's what I'm working towards. Like, definitely.
Definitely, Ben. Thank you for the call, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, thanks, bro. Bless, bro.
Yeah, man. Take it easy, man. Take it easy.
Yeah, bro. Take it easy, man.
Cool. Yeah, man. We're hearing it, man. We're hearing it, people. You see the phone number on the screen. Call up. Have your say. Stephen.
Yo.
What do you talk to me, man? Talk to me, because you know.
I'm oh god.
You're live on the Express Truth.
Hi, it's A Sharp again. You guys cool?
You cool? How you doing?
Yeah, man. Big up, man.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, wait, hold on, caller. Can you turn down your computer or whatever?
In the background, please.
Okay. I think a key factor is the deterioration of our culture has a lot to do with why the black community is in the position it's in. There's many factors. I think that's definitely one of the key factors.
Yeah.
I think the reason why is because regarding culture.
Wait, caller, you gotta turn down your thing because you won't be able to hear.
Yeah. If you look at the way black people basically trends, the way they actually communicate, not every black person obviously, but they call each other the N-word and the B-word, the slang that they use in a lot of urban music, right, which we get from rap music. It's very disrespectful, and to people see that as acceptable. But in other cultures, you wouldn't see that as that type of language towards people of their own race, their own kind, is acceptable. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying, the way we communicate that shows our mindset. There's been a deterioration in our mindset that we see disrespectful words towards each other as something that's appropriate when really it's inappropriate. And what I'm saying is that culture, it sets trends, it sets slang and social behavior and social development, how people socially develop over time. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. So you will socially deteriorate over time in regarding to how you relate to each other and treat each other. So if you see women as B's and H's and women see men as N's, how are you going to really treat one another properly if that's how you view each other? Do you get what I mean?
Caller, let me jump in. Caller. Let me jump in a second.
Yeah.
You said that at the start of your call, you said that you believe that we've lost a lot of culture, which is why we're in the position we're in. And I hear that point.
Yeah.
How come the women have managed to maintain this culture, or the majority of them?
Pardon?
How come the majority of women... All right, hear what I'm saying, caller. You said that a lot of us have lost our culture, which is why we're in this predicament. Caller, you gotta turn on your... Caller, you have to talk that... Wait, hold on, caller, you have to turn on your computer. That's why you're not hearing me.
Okay, I totally turned it down, didn't you?
All right, so hear what I'm saying now. Hear what I'm saying. You come on the phone, and I appreciate the call. You says, we've lost our culture, which is why we're in this predicament. Now, what I'm saying to you is, how come the men have lost their culture, but a lot of the women have managed to keep theirs? Because there's a lot of women that are single because they want a black man, but they can't find a black man, a lot of them.
Because he wants everything else.
So what I'm saying to you is, why have a lot of our women been able to keep their culture? Do you have an answer for that one, or?
Yes, I will. Well, first I'm sorry for what I said at the beginning. I slightly said that wrong. We haven't lost our culture. What I meant is what our culture basically has been replaced by a culture is even worse.
Yeah.
So culture actually is being deteriorated, what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What as I said, going back to, say, urban music, we look up to these people like, say, Jay-Z, 50 Cent, P. Diddy. If they can call women bitches and H's, and we want to emulate these people, look up to these people and be like them, they're our role models, right? Yeah. Then we can call women bitches and H's and see them like that. And do you get what I'm saying? Most of these rappers, 90% of my men, they're not women. Do you get what I mean? These people are rich, they're successful, and they're famous. So guys look up to them. You get what I mean? If you see these videos, you see these women, a lot of them dressed half naked, virtually all over the rappers. The rappers got all the designer clothes, the jewelry, the nice cars. People think, look at these, but wow, I want cars like that. I want beautiful women like that. You get what I mean? We look up to these people, but they give this image like that. This is the lifestyle you want to live, but they're not talking about having a wife, having kids. They're just showing the image. You got loads of women. You get what I mean?
So basically, caller, you're basically saying
all over the place.
You're basically saying that the culture supports living that way.
That's influencing the community.
Culture, black culture, is made up of primarily music, films, and comedy. But music is the most influential part because the conscious mind, your thinking sound, you hear your thoughts, you don't see your thoughts. Right, the subconscious mind is more like a hard drive in the computer. It basically stores information, remembers, but it doesn't do the processing, the analysis. So the analysis has come from the conscious mind, which works on sound. That's why if you see a hypnotist, whenever hypnotists hypnotize anybody, if everything right, they shut down their conscious mind and speaking directly to the subconscious. But they shut down their conscious mind. They're controlling the mind with sound and words. Your mind works on sound. So, and music is very repetitive. The beats, the melodies, the harmonies, and the words, it rhymes. It's very repetitive. So your brain easily retains that information and learns. You see, with music, it's not just a form of entertainment. It's actually a form of education. It's actually educating people. Black people, before rap made it popular, they used to call each other the N-word, call the women the B and the H word. Why did they do it now? Because rap made it cool and trendy, because it sets slang, it sets trends. It also educated the people to use that type of language. Yeah. The people are educated to, do you get what I mean? All this art black and all that, which you hear, which the using drill. People never used to talk like that before either. They've been educated to use that type of language. You get what I'm saying? That's the point I'm making. You got Bloods and Crips in England now. Where did that come from? Why did they come from? Influence America's been educated to have Bloods and Crips. That's what I'm trying to say. The reason why I answer your point with women, as I said, 98% of the rappers are men, not women. And a lot of these, the insults are towards women. So a lot of women, even though they might like the beats, are not going to really idolize somebody like Jay-Z and P. Diddy. Some will, but most of them, when they're calling women bitches and hoes and talk about how much women.
The only thing that I'll say, yeah, and I hear your point,
yeah,
but Jay-Z don't talk like that no more. He did at one point. He did put a lot of poison in, with all that stuff. But now you see the man's married and he's got his
kind of elevated his thing.
He's kind of matured. But I hear what you're saying because when I look at American rap, it's just a load of degenerates. What I'm seeing. Go on, caller.
Yeah, I'm just using him as an example. I'm not saying he still does like that. I'm just using him as an example. But the problem is, when you do something like that, the damage has already been done because the generation coming up sees that formula works. Okay, all the over-violence, over-sexualized work, it sells big. I'm going to do that. And then they enhance it. So each generation sees what the other one done. They enhance it and make it worse. So it's getting worse and worse. Look how violent drill is compared to gangster. Gangster rap was violent, but nowhere near as violent as drill. It's actually getting worse because people look at the model that sells. Oh, this is getting the most sales. So I know if I do that and then improve upon it, it will increase my sales even more. Because at the end of the day, bottom line, it's all about money. It's not about morals. It's about money. And it actually gets worse. So as the culture deteriorates, especially regarding music, as the conscious mind works on sound, the people are going to deteriorate over time. It will get worse and worse. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
But do we not feel like we should take it all with a pinch of salt? Because at the end of the day, is it not just supposed to be entertainment? Because we don't look at movies and say, yo, movies are real. But everyone who jumps on a record and says, yo, I killed 50 man. Do we really think they've killed 50 man? Or they're just waffling like it's breakfast time?
Yeah, but what I'm saying, as I said, it basically shapes culture, especially music. Culture, social development. Do you know what that means? How people are developing over time? Proof of what I'm saying is true, and it educates people. As I said, how come the N-word is so prevalent, but it wasn't when our parents and grandparents first come to this country? You never heard them using the N-word.
Because, caller, it was a different era where our grandparents and parents, their music was more, geared towards.
They had a different culture. That's what
they did. We have been heavily influenced by American culture. You only have to look at DMX passing. You only have to look at DMX passing. Some man were talking to DMX online like it was their dad, fam. There was man talking to DMX like they personally, not like. So what I've realized is a lot of that music, that pain that's being sold to our community resonates with a lot of our men. I'm being real. You only have to see DMX, Pats. Remember, this is a man who had 17 kids. I like DMX too. His music, but he's a great actor, everything.
Got some tunes, man.
17 children. Yeah, a lot of vices. I'm not judging him. I didn't walk in his shoes. But I'm saying you've seen the response from UK black men. They completely, everyone's seen it on Instagram. That's all I'm saying. But caller, thank you for the call.
Yeah.
Great point.
Just what you said about DMX, that proves how much influence he had over the people. And that proves that he's actually not just entertaining people, he's educating people. That's the point I'm making. That's why I'm talking about the culture. Because it's the culture that destroyed the family structure. The family structure didn't destroy the culture. That's all I will say. Great job, guys. I'm glad to listen to you. Keep doing
man.
what you do.
Thank you, man. Thank you for the call.
Respect for the call, man.
Take care. Bye.
Cool.
Bye.
Stephen.
Yo, the deal. I don't know about the DMX thing. Fam, you know what it is? I know we're going off topic a little bit. I'm just saying, I find it crazy, yeah. I don't realize how many fans these musicians have until they die. They die and everyone, yo, that was my favorite rapper, you know. He changed my life. Yo, he taught me down off the ledge and all that.
You're live on the Express Truth.
Okay.
Call it.
Turn down your background, please.
Mommy.
Do you want me to speak?
Yeah, go on. But you can't have the computer on.
Yeah, it's
I
echoing.
haven't got a computer on.
I just heard it, mommy. But go on. What's your point?
Right, my point is, I haven't heard all the programme, but the bit of the programme I heard about fatherless homes, people without fathers, everybody has a father. You didn't just come here on your own. A man had to get together in some way with a woman to create a child. Sometimes in Africa, they tell you that it's a village that raises the child, and sometimes we haven't got our husbands here with us, but you have other significant adults that are male in and around your household that do help to raise children. And although we have more young people without fathers living at home, we also have a lot of young people that do very well. And sometimes I think we dwell on the negative. And the point I wanted to make was sometimes we need to also bring out, even amongst the adversity, the racism that our children face, they are still managing to do well. We know that it's more so girls than boys. But at the end of the day, sometimes I think we speak into existence things that happen to us. It is difficult in some of our black households. Some of our children are hungry. Some of our children, they get to teenagers, they struggle to read because we don't see, not everybody, but some households, because they have other priorities. The priority doesn't lay around education and things like that. And for me, I think as black families, we need to reboot what is important to us. We need to stop expecting the white society to sort us out, and we need to take on what I call that village mentality and start to look about how we're going to sort out our community, because I'm not going to lie to you, no other community out there is going to sort us out. And if we haven't got fathers, we have to look at where we have other influences in our lives.
But mommy, what I'm saying is, yeah, it's all well and good what you're saying, but we need fathers, we need family structures. You know that helps. You know that helps because take daddy out the house, mommy. Who is gonna raise me? Look when I was growing up. Take him out the house. I'm saying go on.
You had a really good grandfather. You had a really good grandfather that was around. You know, you had a uncle that was around. You didn't need them because you had the influence of your father. You had other influences in the family, and they were good people. And sometimes we put everything onto this father figure that just isn't there, but we don't look at some of the male role models we've got around us.
Mommy, I agree with you. I got a great grandfather and all of that. Them men were all exceptional. However, they're not my dad, and they're not gonna go as far as he's gonna go. Do you see what I'm saying? Because they got other men that they're trying to look after.
Yeah, but Mark, you don't feel like you could. I hear what your mom's trying. I believe I understand what your mom's trying to say. Do you not? The point being, so let's take your pops out of the picture for a moment, yeah. And you've got other strong male role models within your life. You do not feel like you still would have turned out, maybe not as great as you are now, but you would have not still been a decent human being with morals and a good standpoint, and you know what I'm saying?
You know what it is? There's a lot of things that go into the development of a young man, full stop. Never mind a young black man. A young black man from Jamaica. There's a lot of development that goes into it. However, what I'm saying is that don't we need to fix the family structure as far as the man? I know that some relationships just ain't going to work out, but I don't think we can paper over cracks, is what I'm saying.
But the thing is, if they're not there, you know my views, society has set up our families to remain broken because our men, unfortunately, if they're not dead, if they're not in mental institution, if they're not in prison, if they're not doing other things like on drugs and what have you, a lot of our men, the way that the society has conditioned people to think about our black men, they're with other communities. It doesn't mean that our community is going to fall apart. We have to think above that. And I agree with you, nothing beats having that mother and father structure. I had it when I was growing up. You had it when you was growing up. And then there's nothing that beats it. But what I'm saying is we can't give up and throw in the towel because we haven't got it. We've got to find other ways to find those very strong role models that are out there, because I truly believe that African saying, it takes a community to raise a child. And not all men that don't grow up with their fathers turn out badly. You know, it's harder for the woman, and I absolutely respect any woman that has brought up, especially boys, on their own. I have the utmost respect for them because it's not easy, but they can do it, and they have done it. And those particular young men, we don't always hear about or see because they're out there just doing it. It's hard, Mark, I know it is, and I'm not on here trying to tell you that we can do it without the black family, and I absolutely agree that the Rolls Royce is to have a working black family that's working together and can raise the next generation. But unfortunately, in our community, as the reports have shown and everything, it's not there. But I don't want our community to give up. We have to find other ways of wrapping around each other, coming together and helping to raise our communities. Because trust me, if we don't, others aren't going to. And I believe the mentality has been, because we haven't got fathers and because we haven't got this, we're just not good enough. And I rebuke that, I dispute that, because
Mommy, let me interject a second.
Yeah.
When the man's in a house, and I'm not saying, I see some of the comments, some people are saying, suppose it was a man who ain't moving correctly. I understand that. But I'm saying when a man's in the house, the relationship's been built up on proper foundation. It also teaches us self-love. Because let me tell you a scenario. I was once in an environment, where it was only me and another black man, and there was about 10 white males in an environment, and a TV was on, and I think it was that Celebrity Gogglebox or one of them programs, I don't even know, and there was all kind of different white people on this program, and there was like one black family on the program. While we're watching it, and the white people know how Gogglebox works, the white people were giving their opinion on whatever they were watching. And when it got to the black people, mind you, we're sitting in a room with where it's only me and one other black man. The black man looked at the TV and said, when the black woman come on, she looks like a man. And I looked at him and said, how are you going to disrespect our people in front of another ethnicity like that. When I spoke to the man, he completely hated himself. After learning his background, he just had hate for black people. Evidently, when I seen who his missus was, so I'm saying that
a black man in the household wouldn't have prevented that.
Well, how come I didn't say that then?
That is, that man doesn't know his culture.
It's because, mommy, the self-love, when there's no man, who's teaching these next generation of our black men? I hear black people say that, you know, how bad marriage is. We've been getting married for centuries. But you hear black men now say, oh, I'd never get married, rare. So what? What's going on there?
Mark, I'm in the generation before you, and that's where it started. Because my mother and father, their generation, did believe in marriage. But my generation, for some reason, they decided they didn't believe in marriage. Now, at the end of the day, it's their choice, but I don't agree with that. So, I believe that if a man loves a woman, he has to commit to that woman. Some men, I'm not saying all, I'm saying some men don't believe in that. But you have households where the husband and the wife, the man and the woman, they're not married. It doesn't mean they're not a proper household. It means that they have certain beliefs, but they are still committed to one another. But what I'm trying to say is give another argument to say, please don't, and I'm not saying you are actually, don't give up on our community because more of us are in single parent families.
I would never ever give up on our community.
No,
I just want to see our community. I want to see our community succeeding the way other communities are. Other communities, but mommy, hold on one sec, because a lot of the listeners know who you are as well. But I'm saying, a lot of our community, we're in a stage where a lot of our community are too concerned with getting a seat at the table, whereas other communities, they don't care about the race report. I haven't heard none of them other communities complaining about the race report because they've built up an environment for themselves. And I believe that the family, I'm talking from an experience of having white friends.
I am talking as an experience, as somebody who's out there in the community. And I have had more complaints from the Asian community than I've had from the black community. The black community are making noises. I've listened to podcasts where they've been making noises. But you know what the Asian community have been doing? Writing to their MPs, writing to their local councils, saying that they want them to actually stand up and speak against the race report. It's not that other communities are not doing it, it's how they are doing it. Our community have been the most vocal, seemingly, but other communities have been out there making the noises. I can show you emails I've had from people that have been in tears at that race report. They just have not agreed with it, and they're from the Asian community.
But mommy, the Asian community, but the Asian community have built up an economy for themselves. Is this not true?
That doesn't say that they're not upset with what they've read in the race report. I'm not sticking up for any community, and I agree with you. We do need to build up an economy for ourselves, and we do need to look at that black pound, and we do need to look at our finances in our community. But saying all of that, our community, when money passes through our hands, we tend to spend it in other communities. We're not minded to spend it in our own community on our cultural things. We are coming up to Ramadan at the moment. And, at the end of Ramadan, whether you're African, Bangladeshi, whether you're Pakistani, whatever type of Muslim you are, you will have on your traditional dress. Mark, you have known, from the day you were born, you've known me. I have never been without an African outfit in my wardrobe.
That's the truth.
That's the truth. My traditional dress. How many young people actually find out what their traditional dress is and just go into an African shop and buy one outfit? Yet they will spend hundreds on a belt by one of those designers or on a dress or whatever it may be. It's because as a community, what we value is completely different to what other communities value. But I don't believe just because black men aren't in the household, that is happening. It's because at the moment, our cultural values, what we should have rooted in us, is leaving us, because many people who are my type of age, in their 50s, you know, because that's my age group, right? When we were growing up, we were proud to be African. You know, I've got locks. My husband, you know, from the day I met my husband, he's had locks. We got married with his locks. We didn't lose our traditional way because we got together. We absolutely blossomed with it. And what I'm saying to you is, what I'd like to see is us coming back together as communities and doing things around learning about our history, being proud of our history, being proud of who we are. Because at the moment, through what's been said in the media and the undercurrent statements, many of us as black people, we hate who we are. We look at ourselves and we loathe ourselves. We look at our noses, we try to change it. Kim Kardashian or whoever they are, they've got the big bums. We created those bums.
Right, we were gifted. Our women were gifted. We're gifted with that.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, years ago, they hated it. But now, because somebody else has put it out there, it's all of a sudden become fashionable again. But years ago, they absolutely hated it. And the point is, I want our community to love ourselves for who we are. And I will not, and I know it's important to have black men in the household. I absolutely know it is vital. And if the choice was there, I would say it's better to have than not have. But even if they're not there, you have got, my grandson has got a lovely father, right? But he's not around every day. But you are around every day. His granddad is around every day. There's others around. So when he can't come in and pitch in and does what he does and comes and takes his son to do football, takes him out for the day, when he can't come and do that, you're there doing the other things. If you remember the other day, my grandson had a little difficulty with weeing, if you remember, and you were there to say, Theon, son, this is what you do. But if his dad was here, he would have done it. But you stepped in as the adult at that point, and you made that difference. If his dad can't come to cut his hair on a day, you say to his sister, "Look, I'll go and get his hair cut with my son." And that's how you operate. Sometimes it's not about the man being in the house. It's about how you work together as a community to raise a child, to have respect for his adults, and to grow understanding and being proud of who he is.
Thank you. Thank you for calling in.
All right.
Big call.
All right. God bless you both. Good night then.
Good night.
Night.
What are you saying, Stephen? You're soaking all this, and what you saying?
I'm soaking up like a sponge, boy. You know what it is? Your mum raised a lot of good points. Your mum raised a lot of good points.
But Stephen, I'm gonna let you come back. People, man, we got 119 people in here and 48 likes. That's what I'm talking about, man. But
I don't know why, people
but if we was on here talking some rubbish, there'd be more likes than viewers. I just don't get it, man. But carry on, Stephen.
A lot of people say they want the hard talks, man, but they don't really. But I hear what your mom's saying, like with the whole village race.
Phone lines are crazy.
Oh, mad tonight.
You're live on the Express Truth.
Wow, imagine that, and I wasn't even expecting you lot to answer this, Hello, how are you lot doing?
We're doing great. How are you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. My name's Aaron, by the way.
Aaron, big up yourself.
Quickly to say.
Big up.
Yeah, I'm 30, turning 31.
Yeah.
I'm single as well. Just going off for this topic. I was raised by a woman. Was raised basically by herself as well. She went through care, but you want to laugh. She had very good parents, but they were career orientated. So automatically, it put them in a situation where they had to make a choice: either be a parent or either follow their careers. So unfortunately, they followed their careers.
But as my mum grew up, she met her family members. They made sure that she kept in touch. She got to meet her actual father, biological father, by the age of 19. My granddad's a famous musician. His name is Max Romeo. And then from there, she made a very wise decision. Either be bitter about the situation and blame him and be like, oh, where was you, X, Y, and Z? Or be smart and say to herself, life is full of tests.
Yeah.
Nothing but tests. And what makes it even 10 times worse, which I believe, is the color of our skin. So she just said a strong message to him. What you can't benefit towards me, benefit to your grandchildren, and so on and so on. So there is some single women out there what know how to keep a strong type of mindset. Because my dad was there, but he wasn't there because his mindset was on other things, drug related. Sorry to say, but
drug related. What do you mean taking?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry to hear that, caller.
That was more in his mindset.
Yeah.
That's more in his mindset. But at the same time, he was there, but he wasn't there because my grandma was the household runner at that time, if you understand, on my dad's side.
Yeah.
And so anytime I'd go to my grandma's, X, Y, and Z, she's there. My dad's doing whatever he wants to do. But I grew up in Halsden, Northwest 10. If you know about Northwest 10, up and down scales with different type of behavior, different type of atmosphere. But I have to really be honest and say, I don't know if I'm changing the subject a lot, but I have to be really honest and say, I believe majority of what's going on with women today, why they're not so self-sufficient and actually bringing up children and turning them into strong, self-sufficient men, is because of social media. When before 2012, a lot of black women knew how to be self-sufficient. They didn't care if they wasn't looking the best. They didn't care if they wasn't sounding the best. The majority of them was caring about paying their bills and looking after their children, even if the father was there or not. Do you understand? But I can understand what the other guy was going on, because we've come to an era now where women are starting to use children as weapons against men when they're not getting things that they want done as well. Do you understand? Or they're not getting a part of the lifestyle that they were getting in early stages when everything was a bunch of roses. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So back to that topic with my mum. So she just followed a path of being a civil servant, educated herself, but at the same time I had to miss out. There was times where my mum's at work, and the times that she's finishing work, I've done finish school.
Yeah.
So it's up to me to decide what I want to do. I have to give thanks that my mum was a lenient person, but at the same time, because of her lifestyle, it kind of guided me to say to myself, all right, this is a barrier. I can't afford to get caught if I'm doing this. I can't afford to bring this to my mum's house because of what kind of job status she holds. So automatically, sometimes it's all about what kind of job status the woman has for how the child turns out. I believe that. It's not all you don't always need a village to raise a home.
Yeah.
You don't always need a village to raise a home. You need a woman what knows of what kind of career. Not a lot of women want to focus on career. A lot of women want to study the bedroom before they study books. I'm sorry to put it like that, but that's what it is. And I feel like, for me to say this as well, I feel like, I don't want to sound sexist, but I do feel like women fall in love very easy and very quicker than men.
Yeah.
And they open up, and sometimes I feel like they shouldn't open up so quick. If you really like that person, let that man work for that love. Don't let him just because he's ticked most of the boxes in your criteria. Yeah, he deserves this and he deserves that.
Yeah.
So do you want to say anything back to me?
Nah, I hear that, caller. Stephen, what you saying?
Yeah, man.
So
man.
basically, sounds
I big up you lot, man. I love what you lot are doing as well. I'm from London side of the town, man. I have to just big you lot up, man, because I watch you lot.
Yeah, man. Big up, man. We get bare love from London.
And I have to say, it's very sad, man. I hear a lot of people talk on it. They don't really sound like I don't want to say it the wrong way, but they don't sound punctual. A lot of us black men need to start reading. A lot of us need to start educating ourselves and start sitting down and start saying to ourselves, okay, women, they are our backbone, but guess what? They can also make us fall if we don't have a certain mindset, and that you can't allow certain words to control your subconsciousness. And we, us men, that is our weakness. That's very much our weakness. A person can say this, and automatic, a black man can go from 0 to 100, but because of the lack of in education and intelligence, that's only from what I can see.
Oh man, enough respect, caller. Thank you.
Every time.
But yeah, I have to pick you lot up and let me leave you lot, man. Yeah?
Thank you.
Big up, man. Thanks for the call, man.
Respect, my brothers.
Respect. You live on the Express Truth.
Hey, yo, what's going on, man?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm alright, bro. Shout out to you lot every time.
Wait, can you turn down your computer or your phone, please?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, cool.
All right, just to touch in on what you lot are saying. I think the reason why, most of the black race are affected by this kind of situation is because, we live in a Western society, and the Western society just simply facilitates the ways for a single woman to be self-sufficient. So in that way, it makes the woman want to deprive the father automatically, because she knows, like, she doesn't really need him and she doesn't need to depend on him. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's how, they just come up with more situations that lead up to problems. And, and this is why a lot of people are affected by these things, and it's very sad to hear people going through it, but it's going to take a lot to change it,
Yeah.
And I also wanted to say as well, like, it also affects, like, the environment, because if you want to look at it, like, I live in an area where it's mostly like Asians, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, you can see, like, the Asians are coming up and they're buying all the houses because, like, they're structured, like, their family is structured. There's a household, a mother and a father and kids and whatever,
Yeah.
But with black homes, it's not really like that. So this is why, like, they can't get into property and be buying up houses and being in these kind of areas. You only see them in, like, most council estates and etc. And it's like, this is just a combination of all different factors that lead to this, you know what I mean? And, like, most of us are aware of it, but we just kind of choose to be stubborn, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's kind of the downfall to it.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah,
So
that's
what do you
I
think?
really
What you think needs to happen in order for that to change?
Well, mainly just start loving each other, like, start loving ourselves more, and start, like, from when we can start loving ourselves, that's when we can start, like, sharing that love to one another. And then from there, that could, like, build that foundation on where we can, like, start coming together and, like, hearing each other out, because communication is everything, man. Like, like, without this platform, I wouldn't be here communicating with you. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, we need that type of thing, you know what I mean, to generate the solution. So that's just really it, man. There's more things to it, but I think, like, that's the start. Like, that's where we got to start.
Okay, cool. Great call. Thank you for the call.
Yeah,
Big
man.
up yourself, bro.
Yeah?
All right.
Cool.
I know the phone line's jumping and that, fam.
You're live on the Express Truth.
Yo, salute to you, Mark. Yes,
Salute.
Steve, after Manor Crew. Yeah.
Aston Manor Crew, Stephen School, yeah?
Yeah, man, in his class, but I won't have to think too tough.
Yeah,
I
man,
know
yeah.
what this is, fam. I know what it is. Big up yourself, bro.
What you
You know
saying,
what
caller?
Yeah. I ain't
But
gonna say your man's
but-
name on here, but I know what
but-
it is, fam.
But just a quick one still. Everyone had loads of valid points, but one thing I want to touch on I kind of think that the roles are kind of changed in society. So a lot of people talk about back in the day and so on and so forth. But I feel there's like an independent movement for women, and I think that was a big thing that broke up black homes as well. If you ask me.
Facts.
Because nowadays, if you look at it now, how it is nowadays, men are moving like gal and gal are moving like man. Like, when I was growing up, my nan weren't really working like that. My granddad was a grafter, and that was set in stone. She would be at home looking after the kids, and it was straight. That's how it used to work. I mean, regardless if he was probably cheating or that type of rubbish, but he still was there, and there still was a family structure. So now, if you look now, how much years later, the roles have changed. Man don't want to graft and work for their family, and gal are talking about, yo, they need to have a career, they need to have this type of job, but you got 2 kids at home, you can't have both. So how's it going to work? So I think there's a balance. It's shifted. So a lot of responsibilities changed, and all sorts. I hear people with loads of excuses about social media and all this, but I just think it's just the basics, but we don't know our roles in society. You get me?
Yeah.
So Famo, so what are you saying then we should go back to traditional gender roles?
Yeah, facts. Obviously, I got in a relationship early, I had kids. But if I knew what I knew now, I would have said to my missus, yo, we're not having kids too. I'm set financially, and I can take care of this family, you get me? And you be at home, taking care of the family that way, and I'm basically a provider, grafter for the family, and you're just the total foundation of it, you get me? The roles have changed now, bro. The roles have changed.
So what would you say then, man? What do you feel like we need to do as men then? You feel like men need to go through the courting process more extensively? So like take your time with a female and like really get to know each other, make sure you're on the same page and all of that. Because obviously we hear this all the time in the community. A lot of men don't want to rush into the commitment of getting married, but man are breeding everything. And which one's a bigger commitment? I'm paraphrasing Kyra now, big up Kyra. But which one of those is a bigger commitment? Breeding a million different females or getting married to one?
I hear that story. It depends what type of group of men you're talking about, because there's a handful of men like that, and we know who we're kind of talking about. It's kind of more like your typical roadman, but that doesn't make up the majority of black people, you get me?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
True.
You get what I mean? The dynamics is a bit mad, so we can't really... It's hard to say. It's hard to really say. You get me? At some point, you just have to talk to the people that it's going to go through, because some people are just not going to get it, bro. I mean, just got to leave them behind. I ain't got time to really waste anymore.
Facts.
You get me? Some people just got a Negro mentality. Just got to leave them to it, bro, and just focus on the people that understand it. You get me? So I would say to the man them out there, fam, be a provider, fam. You get me? Don't be a liability, bro.
You know what it is called, like that. That's a great call, you know, because it's true, you know. A lot of men, I said it on the show, you know, they're not providing. They're not, you know. It's a lot of it is like, man, they're looking for a mother, and I said it wrong in the show, but like a lot of black women also mother their men, and that hinders them. That hinders them, you know, because enough big man don't want to work, don't want to look after families. Don't want to take the next step, and a lot of it is because the mom has kept him a boy, so he's a boy in a man's body. And so he don't want to commit. He don't want to commit. He's looking for a mommy. See what I mean? There's a lot of black men like that, and a lot of women as well. Caller, they'll be at the school kicking off every other week with the teachers, and their son can't do no wrong until he gets to 15, 16, and he runs into the police. They can't kick off with the police. See what I mean? So. Yeah, excellent call. There's loads
of layers to it, bro. It's crazy, bro. But like I said, you kind of got to install it from early. Because I'm literally just catching on the last few years of like, obviously I've touched 30 now. I've already kind of realized, yo, my sole purpose on this earth is to be a provider, a leader, a hunter. That's what I need to do, bro. And I think at some point, but I don't know where it happens, but we get caught up in, like, I don't know, whatever we get caught up in. People saying social media, yeah, whatever, but at some point, we just kind of like, we veer off the path, bro. And I don't know what it is.
Yeah, man.
You get me? And like I said before, this kind of women independent movement, I feel that hindered black community as well.
No, it did. It did. Beyonce played a role in that as well. It still does, man. Beyonce played a massive role.
I've heard females say, yo, I don't need a man, I just need the baby. What kind of madness is that? I don't need a man, I just need the baby from the man. That, to me, that is crazy, bro. That is absolutely crazy.
Enough female are just thinking about systematic gains, don't it? Because obviously I don't know how mad it is now, but we all know like back in the day,
you got a kid. Oh yeah, you'll get a flat quicker clock and that, you know.
All right then, exactly. That's another thing. That's another big thing. Like more time. If you aren't bringing bread and butter in, fam, you're liability. Man. You might as well rely on the government to raise your youth. That's what it is.
Yeah, there's no liabilities out here. But call that. Thank you for the call, man. The phone line's going crazy.
Yeah, man.
Anyway,
Aston Man and crew, big up.
Yeah, big up Aston Man and crew, man.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Yeah, man. Cool.
Safe, man.
All right, people. We're gonna take a little commercial break right now.
Yo, big up Sharif Al Amin. Just sent $49.99 US. Oh, you're American, bro. Big up yourself.
Big up Sharif, man. That's what we're talking about. Economics. But all right, we're gonna take a quick advertising break, and we'll be back in a second. One positive thing that we can take away from the past year is that we need to start doing right by our bodies. And that starts with the things that we put into our body. One easy way of fueling our bodies with the correct nutrition that it needs is by taking supplements. So check out A-Rich Nutrition. They sell a wide variety of supplements that will help give your body the things that it needs. They sell supplements such as marine collagen and vitamin C, to name a few. So check out their website right now and start doing right by your body. www.arichnutrition.com. That's www.arichnutrition.com. We're back, people. Now, visit that website, www.arichnutrition.com, and use the code ExpressTruth, all capitals, to get free delivery and 10% off. Yes, so do that right now. One thing that I will recommend on that site is the marine collagen. That's going to help with things like your hair, your skin, your nails, all of that. So head over there right now, pick something up, and use the code ExpressTruth, all capitals. Yeah? So that's it. Turn the phone.
That's why man look like Teen Wolf, fam. We're drinking too much of that, G.
Yeah, no, I mean, the collagen is what thickened up my hair like this. I'm going to be real. So for men who have been, who want...
Don't waste your money. Run into Turkey, yeah, for make them prick up your head, fam. And like your Hellraiser, yeah, or play Connect 4 on your forehead, or make you look like one of them ice lolly. Wait, name the dib dab, whatever. Just drink something natural, man. It'll do the job, man.
Facts. What was you saying, Stephen? Because I'll just open up the phone line.
Oh Lord, what was I saying? I think he was going back to what your mum was saying. Answer the phone.
You live on the Express Truth.
Yes, big up yourself, man. Respect, Stephen, Mark. How's it going?
Big up.
Yeah, man. Respect, man. Enough respect.
Yeah, it's a scientist here, man.
Scientist, big up every single time.
Oh, yes, bless it.
What do you think about this?
I know the name of Rich blows on the chat, but I just wanted to just say how I grew up with my father in the home.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, it's a funny one, because as much as he was there, he wasn't. Because more often than not, when it was cricket, I'd go to try and change the channel. He was there half asleep. I'd go to change the channel. He'd wake up, cuss me. I'm resting my eyes.
Right, sorry, repeat that caller. Your phone line went a bit quiet.
Yeah, say the last little piece, bro. Again.
Okay, let me just take it off.
Yeah.
Right, you hear me good?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I was just going to say, man. And what's his name? I can't remember his name again. Umar Johnson, he says one of the biggest issues is ADHD, is ain't no daddy at home disorder. He said that causes a lot of problems in our community. But growing up, my dad was there, but he wasn't really present.
So basically, your dad was in the house, but not doing nothing to contribute towards the house. Is that what you mean?
No, he was there. He was providing financially, but emotionally, he wasn't there.
Okay.
If it was emotion, it was anger. So I'd get the licks. So me and my brother always used to get licks over the smallest things, And sometimes my brother would do something, and if nobody says who did it, everyone would get licked.
Yeah.
But I love my dad to bits, and God rest his soul. He passed away a couple of years ago.
Condolences.
But, one of the things. Well, thanks, man. But I struggled growing up because I would have always wanted. It was funny because I was going to church, and
the first time a man, there was one of the brothers at the church, and he hugged me, and he held me, and he said he loved me, and I couldn't understand it, because if a man did say he loved me, to me, I take that as some kind of anti-man thing. You know what I mean? So I don't want to offend anybody, but I would have taken it as something strange.
Yeah.
But that was the first time I kind of encountered a love from a man, and I looked up to this guy, and he became kind of like a mentor to me.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was funny, because I would have wanted that from my paternal father, but never got it. I actually got it from outside. But I think a lot of these young men, they need to have somebody present, a role model, somebody that they can look up to, somebody that they can relate to. More often than not, it's either the people on TV or some bad man on the road or whatever.
Call, are we listening?
Yeah, so
your phone went dead, you know. Can you repeat that? Sorry.
Sorry, where did you lose me?
When you said about the role model.
Yeah, about this gentleman. He held me and he told me he loved me. It was in church, and it was a genuine thing, and that's the first time I felt love from a man, which is kind of strange. Not the kind of homosexual, but kind of like the person was really caring. He was concerned about me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I find that sometimes we lack that growing up. I mean, I was probably about 17 at the time. I'm in my 50s now. But, I looked up to this guy and how he loved his wife and how he loved his family. And I kind of modeled my own life on that.
Yeah.
And I find that a lot of us growing up don't have those kind of people to look up to.
Yes, I hear that. Yeah. Like loving fathers.
Yes. So I make sure that even with my children, if there's things going on in the school, if it was football matches, if it was school plays, if there's anything that's going on, I try to make sure I play an active part.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And how's that working out for you? How are your kids getting on and stuff? Your children?
They're doing very, very good.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful to hear.
I'm proud of them.
Because that's where it all starts, scientists, with the man in the mirror. It all starts there, like to make your contribution to the community. It starts with the man. That's how I look at it. It starts with the man in the mirror, and we change it one by one. But thank you for the call, man.
You can't push the narrative you don't live.
Yeah, I mean, I had to live to a certain standard, and I think that sometimes as black people, we need to hold ourselves to higher standards and don't endorse or condone certain types of behavior that carries on in the community.
Truth. Thank you for the call, man. Scientist, big up yourself.
Big call.
You're welcome. Bless you. Bye.
All right, people, we're taking 2 more calls.
Met them good, yeah?
I'm hoping it's a woman. You're live on the Express Truth.
It was just A Sharp again. I'm just phoning to say that I've been hearing you guys talking about love and stuff, black men teaching love to their children and stuff.
Yeah.
Which I think is very important. But my point is this: how is love going to be prominent in the black community if you have, say, the top selling music and a culture like drill music, talking about people going on an up block and stabbing people and shooting people? That's what I'm trying to say to you about how influential the actual culture is. We've got a violent culture.
Well, then, if all right, let's say I'm a dad. Yeah, I'll use myself as an example. I'm a dad. I may have a teenage son or preteen son. Yeah, I'll have to show him them kind of things in terms of like, this is entertainment. This is the real world. You know what I'm saying? So if he's listening to like, drill, I'm on that black, and all of that, I might show him some Morgan Heritage, some Barry's Hammer. You get me? You have to balance out the frequencies, man. You see me?
Yeah, I totally agree. But the point is what I said about the culture damaging the family structure, because the culture is also creating a situation where encouraging these black men to have beer girls and a beer picking all over the place, so the fathers are not in the house. That's what I'm trying to say. The culture does contribute a lot to that. As you were saying earlier, caller was saying about Beyonce, was saying, do you know what I mean? Some of the music that she's put out about single women, do you get what I mean? It's all part of the culture.
Yeah, Beyonce played a big part because Beyonce was making nothing but big tunes about how she don't need a man, but then
to the left, everything you own in the
There
box
you
to the
go.
left.
it's true. But then she was married. She had a ring on her finger
you
when
go.
she was saying all this.
There you go. That's
But,
what I'm trying
but
to
call
say.
that.
So,
Respect for
indeed,
the call, man. We
yeah.
gotta move quick because we only got 2 more. We only got about 5
All
more
right,
minutes.
cool, man.
Yeah. So
All
we'll
right,
catch
cool.
you on the
Take
next
care,
one.
man. Yeah,
Man. Big
cool,
up every
man.
time.
Later. Bye.
Stephen, quickly get out what you're trying to say.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So we're just saying that in the absence of a father, good positive male role models will suffice. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
Like something's better than nothing, basically.
Yeah. I believe that's what he's trying to say.
That's what it sounds like. Because I feel like that's what your mum was alluding to, you know, when she was using you as an example.
Yeah.
And saying that you've got good uncles and you had a good grandfather, etc. Do you know what I'm saying? Like basically something positive. Even when she's using you and talking about your nephew, fam. You know what I'm saying? Like something positive is better than nothing at all.
I hear that still. I hear it.
What would you say is more damaging though? Because I've seen a few people writing in the comments. I'm asking people at home as well. What would you say is more damaging? A straight up absentee father, or a father who's in the house but is emotionally absent? Like, what do you feel is more damaging?
Some men, you know what it is. My dad wasn't really like not really. He wasn't at all like no emotional hugging, I love you type of dad. I didn't need that. You see what I mean? Like, but some boys do need that though. But like myself, I had like a lot of tough love, and also, like I used to learn lessons through. I used to learn different lessons in it. See what I'm saying? So, but I do get what scientists were saying, that some men do need that emotional, hugs and rare. I don't personally do that with my son. See what I mean? But I hear what scientists is saying. Like, some men do need that. Some men do need that. But some other men, like a man like myself, I won't say I love you, but my loved ones will know that what I'm doing. They'll know what I'm saying. I'm getting all tongue twisted.
Family, I know.
They'll
what
know,
you're saying. I know
if me saying that I love someone, it's not gonna be me saying I love someone. It might be through another way of showing it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Family, when I'm saying no, I don't need to get it misconstrued. So, because I know you and I know your dad in it, so like, I can see that the love's there. When I say emotionally absent, I don't even mean like the words of "I love you," because like you rightly said, not everyone needs that. Like a lot of the time, like they say, actions speak louder than words. I'm just talking about like you're absent. So a man's literally in the yard. So he might come home from work. He's sitting there watching TV. You might see him yamming dinner. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. Literally no emotion towards you, blood. Like a man's just there.
There's no man that are just there in the yard. I hear that.
Just like a spare coat and the coat rack. A man's just there, jokes. You get me?
That I hear that, and you see, when I'm speaking about man in the home, I'm speaking about an active role, actively in the child's life. Okay. I'm not just saying a man in the home, because man it could be anything. See what I'm saying? People, come on, man. We're taking 2 more calls, then we're out of here, man. We've been on here for 2 hours. 2 hours and 17 minutes, man. So hit the like button.
Time flies when you're having fun.
123 people. Hit the like button, man. We need to get in the algorithm this year, man.
Like, share, and subscribe, man. You see me? Tell a friend for tell them neighbor.
So, all right, we got 5 more minutes or 2 calls, whatever comes first. That's it. See what I'm saying? But people, we just want to say while we got everyone on here, thank you for supporting our podcast, and giving us, thank you for supporting our podcast, man. And follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram at Express Truth Show. Yeah, shout out to all the Patreons as well. See what I mean?
Spotify crew, Thursday crew, the first in the chat crew. Big up your whole Express Truth family, man. Every time.
Facts. Absolute facts.
Yeah, a few people answered though. Actually, that's what I was gonna read out. The Honey Effect said they're both as bad as each other. Skeenan said both. Kimberly Rhodes said emotionally absent. Nana N says no dad in the house. Keisha says a toxic father. Nine Ether King, an absentee father is more damaging. Okay, interesting.
And all it is, we're passionate, man. Like, we are really passionate about the community. You see what I'm saying? We want to see the community succeed. We want to see the community grow. You know what I mean? So, amongst all of this poison that's out there, even if only 100 people listen, there has to be balance in our community, man.
That's 100 real ones listening, man. It's better than nothing.
Simple.
Help counteract the nonsense, man. You gotta make sense out of nonsense, man.
And shout out to all of the the people that share the show as well. It means a lot to us.
Yeah,
but it looks like the phone line's gone dead. At one point, it couldn't stop.
Oh yeah, big up some of the Facebook people as well in the groups. I see them sharing the show and commenting and that. Big up yourselves, man.
That's it, man. That's it. So what are you saying, Stephen? Could it come in like
100? Everyone gets shy. 112 people in here, everybody gets shy, blood. All right. You know what? Because we're rounding off anyway. Callers or no callers. Solutions, family. Like, we know the foundation, the be all end all is the family structure, but like, what are the solutions, man? So what could we? Let's just go hypothetically for a moment. Yeah, no one bite my head off. Let's just go under the assumption that these figures that have been presented to us are true. What could we do as a community, man? So the next year or 5 years or whenever the heck they do the next one, the figures have dropped drastically. Like, what would be the long-term solution?
I think I'm going to give you a bit of a long answer. I think one of the solutions to the issue is, let me talk to the men first, yeah? I think when you meet a female, yeah, yes, looks are very important to a lot of people, but looks should only be the initial thing, yeah, because looks don't last forever. So when you meet a sister or whatever, yeah, the looks are the first thing that draws you to that woman. After that, moralistically, is she intact? If she's already got a child, how does she speak about the father of that child? Is she good? There's a lot to learn before you put a baby in there. You know what I mean? I think it was my nana who used to say, you never know a person until you live with them. Like, we don't have to rush. We can courting was a big thing back in the day. Get to know a person. Get to know a person's past. Ask that person what do they see in their future? What do they want in their future? And take it like that, you know what I mean? And then take time, build up all this. I know it's in the music. A lot of us men have fell victim to the gallus thing. See what I mean? A lot of us have fell victim to that.
Even
but
if you want a panty, you're gonna get more than me. Anyway,
when you reach a certain age, yeah, we gotta do better, man. And I'm not saying everyone. So hear my words, right? I'm not saying all men. I'm just saying that I think it's too much. The number's too high. That's what I'm saying. And I'm saying that, the family structure is very important. And for me, other communities see that. Our elders see that. We was in Derby doing some work on a couple of days back, and there was an elder. For those who follow our Instagram, there was an elder who was saying nothing but facts and talking it. And I think something's been lost between that generation and this current generation. How do we get that back? How do we get that back?
Current generation, would you even want to talk to someone from that generation? Let's be real, for the most part. I like these youth and not even youth, even man's age bracket.
That's it, man, and that's it. And then when you have a child, it's a big thing, man. Your child, that's your legacy as a man. Like, and I understand because that caller early, he was very passionate, but we have to be careful, man. We got to be careful as black men as well. We got to be careful what women. There is a lot of sisters that are corrupted, that have fell victim to the Cardi B's and there's a lot of women who do talk. We see it on the Instagram all day long.
Facts.
You just have to know what you're looking for. See what I mean? And that's Stephen, what you saying. What's your solution before we go?
Yo, don't ignore, because you've summed it up. So I just add this little slice. You get me? I'll put whipped cream on the cake, fam. Do not ignore the red flags, the big ones I'm talking, yeah? So you meet a girl, you meet a sister, you meet a female, or vice versa, you meet a man, whatever, it can wear either gender. And all it is, yo, my baby father's a waste man, blood. My baby mother's shady. And you're like, yeah, man, there must be, you know. The man are a fool, you know. Yeah, fam. And then you go shoot your juice in it, fam. You feel so she won't be saying the same about you, blood.
Bible facts.
Bedroom talk, brethren. Don't ignore it.
Yeah, don't ignore signs, man. Don't
That girl
ignore
fat,
signs.
you know. Yo, look on the shape, man. Look on her them leggings, you know. The thing just a push up. The thing look fat like hard old bread. And then you wanna go breathe. Come on, man. Lost, fam. Man need to let go of the lost thing. Someone said it in the comments, man. Some cats need to practice celibacy for real, man. Trust me, fam.
I would have liked to have heard more women calling in. Yeah. I would have loved to have seen that. But it is what it is, man. It's the Express. We're back on Thursday. You know we're making Thursdays great again. And if you want to support the show, you can become a Patreon for £1 a month. You can buy merchandise off our website. Or just simply hit the like button and share the show, man. But that's it, man. We've done the calling. These are going to be way more often now.
Oh.
And that's it, man. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Shout out to everyone who was locked in. To everyone who's listening after the fact. We gone, man. It's the Express Truth.
We out, man.